Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream on a freezing Saturday night at the beginning of December. We see Nottingham Forest host Everton at the City Ground. For the home side, it has been a shaky period of form where Steve Cooper and his players have only managed one win in their last 9 Premier League games, leaving them just 6 points off the bottom 3. Everton travelled to Nottingham off the back of a 3-0 home loss to Manchester United, which left them with 4 points after the 10 that they were deducted a couple of weeks ago. They, however, have won 50% of their away games in the league so far this season, with 3 wins from 6 coming against Brentford, West Ham and Crystal Palace. Last season, both of these teams met and they were both in draws as well. In the first one, it was a 1-1 draw at Goodison in August, and it was followed by a 2-2 draw at the City Ground back in early March. So, in only the 13th meeting between these two teams in the Premier League, will Forest pick up their 5th win in the fixture, third at home in the Premier League, or can Everton pick up their 7th in the Premier League against Forest, and it will be their 4th away from home. It is a game which, come the end of the season, could be quite a big one for both teams, because Forest are definitely down there now, as I mentioned just before, 6 points off the drop. Obviously, we know the Everton situation. They're 5 points away from safety now, Everton, with the fact of their 10 deducted points. So they're on 4 points, and Everton have now slipped to the bottom of the table. Burnley won against Sheffield United at 3 in one of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. So that does mean that Everton are now bottom of the league with their 4 points. In the 13 they've played so far, they have picked up 4 wins, obviously 3 of them away from home, 2 draws and the 7 losses. But that 10 points deducted has put them bottom of the league. But if they win tonight, they would go up to 7 points. They would be 2 points off safety. So it could be a big game. And with Forest as well, if they lose tonight or they draw tonight, it'll be 1 win from their last 10 in the league, and that is very simply relegation form if you're winning 1 from 10, especially at this point in the season as well. You don't want to be dropping off too early. You want to be having steady form throughout the season, especially when you're a side like Nottingham Forest. You know, you expect a defeat here and there, but you've got to be picking up a couple of wins, in each 10 games that you play a season. You can't be winning 1 from 10. It is simply not good enough, and they do not want to get dragged down near the bottom of the table with the likes of Luton, Sheffield United, Burnley, now Everton as well, and Bournemouth, who are down there as well. So I think at this moment in time, as we play this game at the start of December, it's not a must-win, it's not a must-lose for either team, but whoever does win it, they might look back at the end of the season and go, that was a big 3 points, going to someone who was close by in the table and taking 3 points off them. I definitely think it's more of an important win. I think maybe more for Forest. The fact they're at home, they've won 1 win in 9. They need to, they need to sort out the form. And for Everton, they've been good away from home. Yes, they've only got 4 points and they're 5 off safety, but I don't think they've got to. I think Everton will be okay. I really do. I think they've got a great squad under Sean Dyche, the way he plays. The only problem is their goal scoring. Like the last game they played against Manchester United, we commentated on the game last week, the Garnacho goal, and Everton were quite good. I thought they were okay, and they've created so many big chances, but just could not take one. And it's been the story of the season. A lot of their home defeats have not been, deserved really. They've been in the game, they've been creating chances, they've just not scored them. So I do think eventually those goals will start coming in, and I really do believe Everton will be fine this season. I think they'll stay up. I think they've got a lot more quality than your Burnley, Sheffield United, Luton and Bournemouths, even with a 10-point deduction. So we'll wait and see, but I believe if the 10-point deduction is all that they receive, I think Everton will be just fine to survive. But we'll wait and see. And kickoff is just under 7 minutes away. The 3 o'clock wow, the 3 o'clock kickoffs that we have had today. I think we've had 3, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we have had 3. We had Brentford beating Luton by 3-1. Neil Maupay, Ben Mee and Shandon Baptiste with the 3 goals, and Luton got the 1 with Jacob Brown. That was to make it 2-1 as well. And then 5 minutes later, Brentford made it 3-1 with 10 minutes to go. Brentford bouncing back from their 1-0 defeat last week to Arsenal at home. And Arsenal scraped through past Wolves. They scored 2 early goals, Arsenal. Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard within the first 15 minutes, but then Mateus Cunha with 5 minutes to go did score, but the win has kept Arsenal top, and they will remain top until the end of this weekend, as Manchester City are now 4 points behind. So Arsenal growing a little bit of a lead at the top of the Premiership, as Burnley won 5-0 away from at home, to Sheffield United. Scored the quickest goal I think so far this season. I think it was 15 seconds. Jay Rodriguez scored in, and then they've got 3 goals in 7 minutes, from the 73rd minute to the 80th, and they were playing against 10 men for the whole of the second half. Ollie McBurney with the red card in the first minute of added on time at the end of the first half. So that's a huge win for Burnley. That puts them 18th on 7 points. That's where Everton could end up at the end of the day. If they win, Everton would jump up to 18th, on going above Burnley on goal difference. So it's a big win for Burnley. It's a second of the season. Their other one came away at Luton, so that's a big win for them against another promoted side in Sheffield United. So we'll go through both teams now in a little bit more detail, as both of them are in the tunnel waiting to appear onto the City ground. Grass that is not frozen, obviously, as you'd expect at Premier League grounds and even Championship grounds. Is no matter how cold it gets, you're going to expect the games to go ahead with all the technology and the stuff that they do to make sure the pitch is in good enough condition to play. Obviously, the lower leagues, we saw in the FA Cup, we had a few games postponed. Alfreton against Walsall, it was the half-12 kick-off in the FA Cup second round. That was called off with about 5 minutes before kick-off, which I find absolutely ridiculous. But we had a lot of the top-level games go ahead, which is good to see. And we'll go through the two lineups now. And we will start with Nottingham Forest. The 4 changes from their defeat last week against Brighton at home, which was 3-2, and they remain with their goalkeeper signed from Benfica in the summer, and that is Odysseas Vlachodimos, who's making his 4th appearance for the club, replacing Matt Turner, who started the season after he signed from Arsenal for £10 million. Back 4, and this is where 2 of the changes come in, and one of them is right back Serge Aurier. He's in. He's not started any of his last 3 games, but he's in from the start today. And also Willy Boll is back in, same as Serge Aurier. He hadn't started in any of his last 3, but he also comes in. They both replace Ola Aina and Musa Niakate. And on the left side of the back 4, we've got Murillo on the left hand side of the centre backs. He has started the last 8 games now in the Premier League. Only 1 though in his last 7 since coming in from Corinthians in the summer. And at left back is Harry Toffolo, who has got 6 starts now in the Premier League, coming in at left back after only making 19 appearances last season in the Premier League. And then a midfield 3 of Ibrahim Sangare, which is his birthday today, for the Ivorian central midfielder. With him in midfield is also Aurel Mangala, who's making his 40th Premier League appearance since joining the club last summer from Stuttgart. And captain for today's game for Nottingham Forest is Ryan Yates, making his 175th appearance for Nottingham Forest tonight. And then a front 3 on the right is going to be Morgan Gibbs-White, who scored his first goal of the season last week against Brighton in that 3-2 defeat. On the left is going to be Anthony Elanga, who's got 3 goals, 2 in his last 2, coming against Brighton and West Ham, which were both defeats, unfortunately, for the home side. And then leading the line up front, the 31-year-old, making only his 20th appearance for the club, and that is Chris Wood, who joined for £15 million this summer after a loan spell from January till June last season, which means he has remained at the club after the purchase from Newcastle United. And for Everton, they have made 1 change, and that is up front, but we'll start with the defensive 5, where Jordan Pickford is in goal. He has featured in every game so far this season for Everton, and a back 4 of Ashley Young, who got 1 goal last season in the Premier League, and that came against Nottingham Forest away from home in a 1-1 draw at Aston Villa. Back 2 in the centre-back department, that is James Tarkowski, the captain today, and Jared Branthwaite, with a left-back Vitaly Milkelenko, who played 1 time last season against Nottingham Forest, and that was in the 1-1 home draw back in August. In midfield 4 on the right, the low knee from Leeds, Jack Harrison. On the left is Dwight McNeil. 2 midfielders, James Garner and Idrissa Gueye, who still remains in for the injured Onana. And leading the line up front is Beto, who replaces Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front, who is out tonight. And just behind Beto is going to be Abdoulaye Doucouré. He's got 4 goals so far this season in the Premier League, 1 in his last 5, and that came in their 3-2 away win a couple of weeks ago against Crystal Palace. They are the 2 starting 11s. We are under a minute away from kick-off here at the City Ground as Nottingham Forest take on Everton, who want to try and get their first points on the board since they were deducted 10 due to breaking financial fair play regulations. But who will be the difference maker? Chris Wood comes in today got 3 goals so far in the Premier League this season, Chris Wood. One of them was in a 89th minute winner at home against Sheffield United. He also got a brace against Luton in a 2-2 draw back in late October. They'll need him to score today, leading the line, be a threat, playing alongside, playing against, Tarkowski and Branthwaite, who are 6'4" and 6'1". They're difficult centre backs to play against, but Chris Wood will be certainly up for the challenge, the New Zealand international, as we have swapped ends here, and it will be Nottingham Forest kicking right to left. It'll be Everton kicking left to right towards where their supporters are situated on the right hand side of the ground. It'll be Nottingham Forest to kick us off. We've got referee today of Paul Tierney, the 42-year-old referee born in Wigan, and it will be Nottingham Forest to get us underway with their captain Ryan Yates, who's playing his 175th game for the club today. He plays it back here to Willy Bolly, who clips it forward diagonally to the left-hand side, looking for Chris Wood. Header won by Tarkowski, drops to Jack Harrison, lifted over towards Decore and halfway, but the play's been pulled back as James Tarkowski was fouled there by Chris Wood as he won the header on the former Newcastle striker. And we are underway here at the City Ground, and there is Sean Dyche taking charge of his 35th game today at Everton after joining in January of this year. It's Pickford over this free kick as Everton look to push up the field. Switched out towards the left-hand side, had a won by Beto, looking towards Dwight McNeil, cleared for Nottingham Forest into the centre circle, headed away by Tarkowski, brought down by Yates, heavy touch, picked up by Garner, forward to Decore, out to the right here to Harrison, back to Garner on halfway, across to his centre midfield partner tonight, Idrissa Gueye, formerly of PSG, as a short ball there from Dwight McNeil can invite the challenge from Gibbs White, who kicks it off Mikalenko, throwing for Forest on the far side on the halfway line, well won by Forest number 10 Gibbs White, and it'll be Serge Aurier to take the throw-in, former of PSG himself as well, as his throw-in is headed away by Branthwaite. It's now Garner to kick it forward up towards Beto, who loses out on the header on Willy Bolly, drops to Jack Harrison, who plays over the top, looking for Abdoulaye Decore, who touches it down with his head and then tries to play it through towards Beto, but the flag was up there on Abdoulaye Decore. He just stretched offside there, the former Watford midfielder. As Ryan Yates dribbles towards Ashley Young, who slices the ball out of play over clearance, throwing on the near side this time for the home side. Ryan Yates back in, one of the changes from their defeat last week to Brighton. 2 changes in that centre of midfield. Sangare comes back in with Ryan Yates, and they replace Danilo and Dominguez. As the Toffolo throw-in has been headed out by Everton, so it's a throw-in again for Forest on this near side. Within the final third here, 2 minutes in, no chances yet at the City Ground as Elanga picks up the ball from the throw-in. He goes all the way back to the halfway line here towards Willy Bolly as he was being closed down by Jack Harrison. It's now on the left side to Murillo, across to the right centre half, Willy Bolly, who's making his 11th appearance in the league so far this season. First start in 4. Sangare in midfield loses out to Idrissa Gueye. Dwight McNeil down the line trying to find Decore, cut out by Sangare, who originally gave the ball away, and it'll be a throw-in for the away side, 10 yards inside the opposition half on the far side, with the Ukrainian Mikalenko, throws it to McNeil, gets the return, then back to McNeil again. Mikalenko, ball inside, look for Gueye, poor ball, picked up by Mangala, who tries to turn away from traffic, but he was fouled as he attempted to do so to get away from McNeil. Free kick to Forest, taken quickly out to the right here to Serge Aurier on halfway, dinks it over the top, looking for Chris Wood, who brings it down in the 18-yard box, but the touch is poor, and Pickford was ready off his line to come and collect to avoid any danger as he distributes it quickly out to the right-hand side, cut out by the head of Toffolo, only as far as Ashley Young, who plays it forward, only as far as Murillo on halfway, picked back up for the home side, on the near side, inside to from Elanga into Ryan Yates, who's been forced to go backwards here to Murillo to keep possession as Sean Dyche on this near side, just directing his players to push up a little bit. Don't want to sit too deep against this Nottingham Forest side. It's Willy Bolly, Sangare. It's now Mangala, who's sat in between the 2 centre-halves here, dribbles into the centre circle, just inside the Forest half. Goes out to his right here, Sangare. Ball forward to Aurier, getting forward from fullback. Sangare again, on his birthday, 26th birthday for the Ivorian. Back down the line to Serge Aurier, puts an early cross into the 18-yard box, headed away by Tarkowski. Back out to the right-hand side towards Serge Aurier, cleared though by Idrissa Gueye. Kept alive by Willy Bolly for the moment. But the header couldn't be kept in play. Throw in for Everton in their left back area with Mykolenko. He's got 2 goals so far this season, both in the last 3 games against Brighton and Crystal Palace. Throwing again for Mykolenko. Willy Bolly just tackling Beto there. Throwing to McNeil. Gets it back to Mykolenko. Tries to charge down the left-hand side. Tackled strongly by Sangare, but the free kick went the opposite way. McNeil must have just pulled Sangare down there. Didn't really see much of a foul, but Paul Tierney gave it. As the pass goes back to the right centre half here to Bolly. Into the 18-yard box for Vlachodimos. The Greek goalkeeper, born in Stuttgart, Germany. Mangala, midway side his own half. Forward to Gibbs White, who's just come into the centre of the pitch here to receive the ball and complete a 1-2 with Sangare. Into the Everton half. Ball out to the left side. It's a good searching ball and it finds Alanga. 1-on-1 with Ashley Young. Drives on the inside. Plays it across the edge of the box. Flips behind him by Gibbs White to Sangare, who wanted to shoot. Plays it out to the right instead to Aurier, who pulls it back. Header away by Idrissa Gueye. Only as far as Gibbs White, who forces it back out to the right to Aurier. In the final third, down the line towards the byline, find Gibbs White, dinks it in, far post, up for Yates, who wins the header on Jack Harrison, but heads it wide, unfortunately. No challenge in the end for Jordan Pickford in the Everton goal. Well, work by Nottingham Forest, Serge Aurier and Gibbs White linking up on that right-hand side, putting a floating ball in. It lacked the pace, so the speed on the ball had to be generated by the header, but couldn't quite be created by Ryan Yates, who's been at the club since age 5. Captain in the side in his 175th appearance tonight. As Everton clear it forward up towards Abdoulaye Doucouré, goes beyond the Mali midfielder and cut out by Willy Bolly, who gets it forward to Mangala, out to the left to Toffolo, midway side the Everton half. On this near side is Alanga, charging into the final third, running on the inside once again, but his pass is intercepted by James Garner. Now finds Abdoulaye Doucouré in a right wing position, forward to Beto, who's all on his own on halfway. Holding up, bringing in Jack Harrison, who feeds it down the line, back towards Beto, who will chase Murillo for it. But the Nottingham Forest centre-half will get there first. Plays it back to his goalkeeper, who goes forward straight away to Mangala. And it's back out on the Forest left to Toffolo. Lifted ball over the top, looking for Alanga, who will get there ahead of Branthwaite. And he keeps it away from the Everton midfielder, keeps it in play, kicks it off Branthwaite, throwing for Forest in the final third. Well, won there by Alanga, chasing that ball over the top by Toffolo. Toffolo with the throw, getting forward from full-back. Sangare back to the throw-in taker Toffolo. Looks for Alanga, shoved off the ball too easily there by Garner. Back in Everton possession. They're going to look to play it out the left-hand side where there's a bit of space for Mykolenko. Gardner still dribbles forward with it on halfway. Now forward to McNeil, who tries to feed it out to the left to Mykolenko. And it was a misplaced pass there, went too far forward. The Ukrainian couldn't catch it. And it's the ball back in possession of Forest in their own half. Everton will win. Who's with me? I don't know, you know. Nottingham Forest have got decent home form. Only 1 loss at home so far this season. The previous 6 they've played, and that came in their last game to Brighton, the 3-2 loss. But Everton have also got good away form as well. Everton have played 6 away from home, won 3, drawn 1 and lost 2, and that came to Aston Villa and Liverpool. So 2 teams who come against each other in good form in their respective fields of play. The fact that Forest are at home and Everton are away. As it's Toffolo, ball forward to Yates in the Everton half, out to the left to Alanga. Back on halfway with the ball. It's a short one though, cut out by Doucouré ahead of Mangala. Gueye back forward to Doucouré, who takes it on the turn, plays it forward to McNeil, who gets there and dribbles forward to the edge of the 18-yard box, enters the box, but he's been chased down by Alanga. And the last touch comes off the Swedish winger, and it'll be a corner kick on the near side for Everton. Good play that from Doucouré to zip it into McNeil, who just drifted inside there from the left wing into more of a striker position and just drive forward towards the 18-yard area where it was just poked away from him by Alanga. He concedes the set piece. Chance for Everton to get their tall players in the box and ask a question of the Forest defence. McNeil, in-swinger, towards the far post. It's met by Vlachodimos and eventually volleyed away by Willy Bolly for the throw-in on the far side for Everton, still in the final third. Decent palm away there by Vlachodimos, who was being obstructed a little bit there by Jack Harrison, but got enough on it to send it away from Tarkowski. It's now Doucouré on the left. Down the line it goes, picked up by Mykolenko, met by a slide challenge of Aurier, which was a fair one, and cleared down the right-hand side by Gibbs-White, looking for Chris Wood, who loses out to the header of Branthwaite, and Everton have it back on the halfway line with Tarkowski. Forward ball into the channel, chested down by Mykolenko. Can he get there ahead of Aurier? No, he can't. Aurier and full-back sees it out, but it's a really good ball that from Tarkowski on halfway into the final third on the Everton left, looking for the run of Mykolenko, who brought it down, but the touch was poor, and Sergio Aurier could see it behind for a goal kick. Timed his run well. Mykolenko beating the offside trap, but the touch wasn't to the standard that was needed. This is with right back Aurier, midway side his own half, down the line to Gibbs-White. Got Mykolenko on his back, who wins it off Gibbs-White. It's now McNeil. Harrison, tries to play it forward towards Beto, cut out by Sangare. And it's now out with Elanga, who passes the halfway line. He's going to charge down the left-hand side, trying to outpace Ashley Young. Goes towards the byline here. Young's going to push him down there, hands in the back. Free kick for Nottingham Forest. Didn't quite have the pace there, 38-year-old Ashley Young. On Anthony Elanga, who's only at the age of 21, and he's absolutely electric with his pace. Forest new number 21, signed in the summer from Manchester United. Just chasing each other down the left-hand side towards the byline, and just a bit of pulling there from Everton's number 18, Ashley Young. And it's a free kick for Nottingham Forest right near the byline, so it's a chance to get a cross in the box. Gibbs-White is the man who is stood over it. Can he provide after scoring a goal last week, Gibbs-White, from the penalty spot with 15 minutes to go? Was it enough for Forest to mount the comeback on Brighton? Here is Gibbs-White, two-man wall for Everton. Near post it goes, flicked on by Ashley Young all the way through to McNeil on the far side, who clears it first time up towards halfway, where there is no one in a blue shirt to be seen. So it's back in Forest possession with their goalkeeper Vlachodimos on the edge of his 18-yard area in a full yellow kit tonight. The Forest goalkeeper, who's been closed down here from Beto, the Everton striker. Clears it out to the right-hand side. It's a bit of a short one, headed back forward by McNeil. Can't find Beto because he's coming back from an offside position. And it's back into the hands of the Nottingham Forest goalkeeper. There's Nottingham Forest last season. Finished in 16th place. Had some fantastic home form last season. Nottingham Forest, with 8 wins in their 19 at home, picking up 30 points from a possible 57. It was their home form, which was the worst out of everything. Their away record in the Premier League last season was 1 win away at Southampton in January, 5 draws and 13 losses, their biggest being away at Manchester City 6-0. And it's something they need to improve on their away form if they want to climb the table. That is Willie Bolly at right centre-half for Forest. Forward, it's a lifted one, headed down by Branthwaite. Finds Idris again in his own half, brought down from behind by a pressing Ryan Yates. And it'll be a free kick for Everton, just inside of their own half. As Nottingham Forest have got a man down here, and it is Chris Wood, who's played for plenty of clubs in his time. 11 clubs in England. Barnsley, Brighton, Birmingham, Bristol, Millwall, Leicester, Leeds, Burnley, Newcastle, in Nottingham Forest, making his 208th Premier League appearance tonight. And it might be one that is being cut short here. Not quite sure where he's picked up the injury here, Chris Wood, who does have 3 goals in previous 14 appearances against Everton. His last one came in March of 2021. Looks like there might be a problem with the left leg. They're just putting some movement on it, the Forest medical staff. It does look like Divock Origi is being ready to come on the field here. Looks like it is going to be a short appearance tonight for Chris Wood, who had scored 3 Premier League goals so far this season, all of them at home as well. But if you're going to bring on anyone against Everton, you want it to be Divock Origi, obviously formerly of the red side of Merseyside, Liverpool, and he's got 9 appearances against Everton in the Premier League, and he scored in 6. He scored 6 times against them in those 9, including a brace that he scored in a 5-2 home win back in December of 2019. I think Chris Wood is going to give it a go, as it is an Everton free kick, which Pickford will send it into the Forest half. It'll be headed on by Tarkowski, but headed away eventually for Nottingham Forest by Yates, but received back for Everton with Mikalenko in the left-back area. Lifted ball down the channel, looking for Decore, met by Aurier first, whose header can be rolled out and seen through for a throw-in right next to the corner flag on the far side for Everton, as I do believe Chris Wood is back on the field. I'll have to see how long he can continue for. No, he's still on the sidelines. Now he's being waved back on by Paul Tierney. The throw-in goes to McNeil, who can turn and cross. It's a dangerous one towards the far post. Misses Harrison, but it will fall through to Ashley Young, who gets there out of Elanga. Swings it in, far post, and a one by Willy Bolly. And again by Toffolo with his head. And he heads it only as far as the edge of the box to the left side to McNeil, who tries to recycle the cross. Deflects off Gibbs White. And it will be a throw-in again for Everton. 15 minutes in. Still no huge chances in the game. Thrown into McNeil. Passes the ball back to Mikalenko. McNeil again. Cross. Low one. Headed away at the near post by Bolly. Up towards Chris Wood, who loses out to Branthwaite. That's now been worked out to the right side to Young. Midway side of the opposition half. Out to the right it goes to Harrison. He's got everything to his left here. And he just plays it backwards here to Ashley Young, 10 yards. Then back forward 10 yards to Harrison again. He's one-on-one with Toffolo. Can he take it on the outside or the inside? He's going to go on the outside of Toffolo. Then back on his left foot. Playing it across to the edge of the box to Adrisagate, who's got a few options. There's a clear one behind him, but he goes it back out to the right to Harrison again, who's going to take on Toffolo, and he crosses it. Far post, Beto tries to win the header. Still alive for Everton. Who will it drop to? McNeil brings it down. Back to goal. He's been forced out of the 18-yard area after pressure from Murillo. And the Harrison ball forward looking for the run of Ashley Young will find him in the end after a poor clearance from Murillo. Young with a cross. Deflects to the edge of the box. Brought down here by Decore. Lifted back out to the right to Harrison, who miscues the cross, tries to take it on first time. And over the bar it goes, but a little bit of Everton pressure there, as we've not seen much attacking quality in the opening 15 minutes of this game. Still no shots from either team, and that can't count as a shot, because that was a really poorly miscued cross over the crossbar. But yeah, no shots in the game. What a great game I've selected to commentate on. But no, still no shots in this game. But that was the first bit of, substantial pressure put on one of the defences there from Everton, even though it didn't come to anything, as Vlachodimos sends the goal kick out to the Forest right into the Everton half, chested down by Chris Wood, but Gibbs White can't pick up the ball. It's won by James Garner in the midfield, and it's back on the edge of the 18-yard box here for Everton with Tarkowski, who will send it forward over the top, down the right-hand side. Beto will chase it, and it'll be Murillo to hook it away. Only as far as Adrisagay, who heads it inside to Harrison. Tries to return it to Adrisagay, but the ball drops to Garner, who quickly plays the ball out to the right side to Adrisagay. On the byline, chased down by Yates, but he's allowed to cross it towards Beto. Header won by Bolly. And on the edge of the 18-yard box, it's helped away by Toffolo. Only as far as Garner, who chests it down and strikes it towards goal. And it's saved by Vlachodimos. And there's the first shot of the game. Edge of the box, James Garner attempting to score his second goal of the season in the Premier League. His last one came in early October in their 3-0 home win against Bournemouth. But I'm not even sure if that one was on target, to be honest. But it's a shot that we've had at least in the game. 17 minutes in. It remains 0-0. It's Vlachodimos has it. Outside of his 18-yard area. Clears it down the line. It's not a great one, but it is won first by Gibbs White, whose pass is really poor. Intercepted on halfway by McNeil. It's now back with Mikalenko. Forward to Adrisagay. Goes down here by Sangare, so goes back to Branthwaite. It goes backwards once more here to Pickford in the 18-yard area. Low ball, passed forward and through into Garner. It's a great ball from Jordan Pickford. Garner passes the halfway line, feeding it out to the left-hand side here to Decore. He's just drifted out to the left-hand side, even though he's usually playing a more central position behind the striker these days. Decore, down the line it goes to McNeil. Bolly will get there first. He'll take a touch out towards the corner flag, and he clears it off McNeil. The ball's still alive. Last touch off McNeil, and that'll be a goal kick. Bolly cleared, came off McNeil, and then it was a 50-50 there to be won, and they both went for it, and they both kicked it, but Bolly got there first to kick it off McNeil to win the goal kick there, to just ease some of the pressure for Nottingham Forest, as Bolly has it from the goal kick. High ball, down the right channel, can't find Gibbs White. Won back by Mikalenko, and already out to the left side to McNeil, midway side, the opposition half. He drives on the inside, he's been brought down there by Willy Bolly, and it'll be a free kick for the away side. Also to mention as well that Everton are into the quarterfinals of the League Cup, They beat Doncaster away 2-1, Aston Villa away 2-1, and then Burnley at home 3-0. And I believe they've got Fulham to play this month in the quarterfinals, so they could get to a cup semi-final. Definitely a realistic team that Everton can believe they can get the better of, because Fulham aren't having the best of seasons. Definitely not as good as they had last season. McNeil from the free kick that he won goes to his right 10 yards to Garner. Now back to Mikalenko, who will send it into the box looking for Tarkowski, who heads it on in the box, controlled. Branthwaite, first shot. I don't think he had the shot in the end, Branthwaite. I think he went to swing at it and kicked air instead of the ball. And eventually it was cleared by Nottingham Forest as James Tarkowski just has a wry smile there at Branthwaite. As Tarkowski won the first header. Yeah, Branthwaite took the touch and then had a shot at air, and then so did Tarkowski. Tarkowski tried to follow up after Branthwaite missed his shot. And Tarkowski also made his. He also just had a swing at it and kicked air instead of the ball. And eventually it was cleared and a free kick was given to Nottingham Forest as a bit of pushing and shoving within the 18-yard area. As we've already got it with the goalkeeper, Vlachodimos. Well, 1 win in their last 9 for Nottingham Forest. That includes 4 draws and 4 losses, scoring 10 in their last 9, conceding 15. That loss, that win that they did pick up, was at home to Aston Villa, who are high-flying at the minute under Unai Emery. As it's in the left-back area here with Toffolo, being chased down by Harrison, clears it down the line, looking for Yates, who just pulls down Ashley Young midway side his own half. Free kick on the near side for Everton, as it is met by a round of applause from Sean Dyche, who is happy with what he's seeing currently. He's only lost twice against Nottingham Forest, Sean Dyche, and they came when he was at Watford and Burnley, losing in September 2011 as Watford manager, then losing into December 2012 with Burnley. But 3 wins against this side as well, after 2 draws last season between these two, as the free kick's been taken short to Garner, who will glide it into the box. Far post, Tarkowski wins the header again, nearly drops to Beto, volleyed in the air by Wood, drops to Elanga. What does that come off? They're asking for handball, referee says no. After it deflects off Elanga, it came to an Everton man as it get it out to the right to McNeil. First cross cleared, and it'll drop eventually in the left back area here to Aurier, who comes off last. That'll be a throw-in for Everton. Let's have a look here. The ball dropped next to Elanga and it came off. Did come off an arm as it bounced up, but I think his arms were close enough to the side of his body where he can get away with that. As Everton have worked out to the left, Mikalenko midway side, the opposite half. Cross goes into the far post, headed away by Toffolo. Helped back forward by Idrissa Gueye. Toffolo wins the header on Harrison, but again, drops only as far as Gueye. And Tarkowski, in the box it goes, looking for McNeil. Vlachodimos doesn't deal with it. Beto with the shot! And over the bar it goes. I don't think any whistles were blown or any flags were raised. And that's a big chance for Everton. It was a searching ball in there by Tarkowski from the halfway line. And into towards the penalty spot where Vlachodimos parried it as he had Bolly and McNeil going for it with him. Did he get touched to it, Vlachodimos? He got a little hand to it. Also deflects off Bolly straight into the path of Beto, who tried to just lift it into the roof of the net, but just got too much height on it and lifted it over the crossbar. And Beto, who is still searching for his first Premier League goal, is going to have to continue to wait after putting that one over the crossbar. But the first major chance of the game, 22 minutes in, not taken by Everton's number 14, leading the line this evening. Like I say, it's Sean Dyche all over that. Tarkowski just putting a high ball into the box, just asking the question, and it can create mistakes like that, like the one from Vlachodimos, who couldn't quite punch away. But Beto needs to do better from 12 yards out. Over the bar he put it. And it's Forest on the ball with their left back Toffolo to the halfway line to Elanga. Got Ashley Young behind him, but he gets it to his right to Mangala. Switch out to the right to Gibbs White, who flicks it out towards Aurier, who will chase it down, but it was Mikalenko to get there first. And he clears it out of pitch, throwing in the Everton half for Nottingham Forest. And I do believe the Euros draw is happening. So we'll see who draws who. As it's Vlachodimos for Nottingham Forest on the edge of his 18-yard area. Out to left centre half Murillo. Ball down the channel. Looking for Chris Wood, who will chase it, but it was Tarkowski to get there ahead of him. Keeps it in Tarkowski and goes into his 18-yard box to Pickford. Takes one left-footed touch and clears it with the right as Gibbs White was closing him down. Harrison tries to clear but sends it back towards his own goal where it'll be picked up by Ryan Yates. It's now with Toffolo. Sangare, Mangala, midway inside the Everton half. He's going to look out to the left-hand side, but he's been closed down by Decore and that channel's been cut off. So he's been forced to go back to his goalkeeper, Vlachodimos. So England's group for the Euros is Slovenia, Denmark and Serbia. That is England's group and they are in Group C. Slovenia, Denmark and Serbia. And England in the same group for Euro 2024. I'll go through the other groups at half-time. Actually, so Scotland have got Germany, Hungary and Switzerland in Group A. Wales could possibly have the Netherlands, France and Austria in their group. So some tough groups there. As the England assistant manager, Steve Holland, is at the City ground watching this game. So I'm sure he'll be looking through his phone to see who England have got in the group stages. Back focusing on this game, as we'll talk about the Euros draw more at half-time. It's an Everton free kick just inside their own half. It will be sent forward by Pickford to the edge of the 18-yard box for Forest, helped on by Tarkowski, cleared by Toffolo, back towards the halfway line where Young will kick it forward, look for McNeil on the Everton left, headed away by Aurier, volleyed by Gibbs White, intercepted by Adrissagate, forced back to Pickford here. The 29-year-old goalkeeper who will thump it away first time back into the Nottingham Forest half where the header's been won by Beto into McNeil who can't quite work himself away from Aurier who will turn out and he will look out to the Forest left and he'll play it to Toffolo. Nice touch by the former Huddersfield fullback and plays it furthest left and that's Elanga. Back to Toffolo in the left back area. Back once more into the 18-yard box to Vlachodimos. Murillo forward and inside to Yates. Ball forward, it's a lifted one, looking for the likes of Sangare in midfield, but it goes beyond him and pricked up by Branthwaite. Misplaced ball by Gardner, back with Forrest. Sangare out to the right to Gibbs White, past the halfway line, away from the first challenger McNeil. Plays it to Mangala, then out to the left to Yates again. Final third is Elanga, furthest left, everything to his right, onto his right foot, back out onto his left, byline, pull back, and it's a easy catch in the end for Pickford at the near post. Another great cross from Anthony Elanga. He only has the one previous appearance against Everton. Came back in April of 2022. Subbed on in a away loss with Manchester United. Cleared away by Everton. Header won by Aurier. 10 yards inside his own half. He's now back with the Ivorian. Goes to the right centre half, Bolly. It's now in the 18-yard box of Vlachodimos. Left centre half is now Murillo on the ball. Being closed down by Decore, but they work it well. Out to the left to Toffolo. Goes down the line, cut out by Gate. Brought down by Decore. Plays it into Harrison. Tries to keep the ball away from Yates, but he loses it there, Jack Harrison. It's now with left centre-half Murillo. Out to the left again to Yates. Murillo again. Forward to Mangala. Just about keeps it moving to Sangare, who's got Garner on his back, and he just about shifts it away from him and sends it out to the right to Aurier. Brings it down nicely ahead of McNeil. Lays it off into Gibbs White. Ball inside to Mangala. Has been intercepted by Garner. And the team in blue are back on the ball in their 18-yard box with a pass back from Mekalenko to Pickford. First time clearance to McNeil. Nice touch down to Branthwaite. Tarkowski's ball out to the left. He's been pickpocketed there by Gibbs White. Gets there ahead of McNeil. It's now with Yates midway side the opposition half. Turns forward and goes to his right here to Sangare. Now Gibbs White on the right wing position. He's got Aurier with him in support and he plays it to the former Spurs fullback. Ball inside to the edge of the box, looking for Sangare. Intercepted by Adrissagate. And the last touch off Sangare for a throw-in for Everton on the far side. We're head-to-head with these two. Throughout the 90s is where their last lot of fixtures against each other came and took place. There were 15 meetings in the 90s between these two, and Forest won 6. There was 2 draws, and Everton won 7. The 90s were their last meetings before meeting again last year in the Premier League once Forest had returned to the top flight. It's now with Mangala in the midfield for Forest. Out to the right centre-back Willy Bolly, who has been sent off once in this fixture, but it wasn't at Forest. It was when he was at Wolves back in September 2019, away at Goodison, losing 3-2. Getting sent off in that one. As they're giving away the ball on halfway, looking for Gibbs White to make the magic happen. Instead, it's now with Mikilenko at left back. Trying to drive forward here for Everton. Plays a ball, curling down the channel, looking for Decore. Bolly will get there first, but Decore will continue to chase. And he forces the mistake from Willy Bolly. Played it down the line, looking for Aurier, but he went behind the full-back and out for a throw-in the final third for Everton on the far side. Taken by Mikilenko. Chested and cleared by Aurier. Up towards Chris Wood, who wins the header. And it'll drop towards Yates, who's brought down there by Gay. And it'll be a free kick midway side their own half here for Forest. Well won free kick there by Ryan Yates. He did start free of the first 4 games of the season for Forest against Arsenal, Manchester United and Chelsea. But he's not quite been favoured as much as of late. As a ball out to the left, in behind. It's a great ball into Alanga. 1-on-1 with Ashley Young. On the left wing position. On his right foot. Try to work space for a cross, which he does do. And then puts it in there, but it's headed away by Garner. Held back forward by Mangala. Back heel by Sangare. Cut out, but the ball's still live on the edge. It'll be Yates to get there. Back to Mangala. Out to the right here again to Aurier, who's got Gibbs White making a run off him. He'll find him. He'll cross it. He'll be blocked, but he'll get the return ball, who will then cross it as he plays it back to Aurier. All the way through. Alanga! Oh, it's wide. It's not far wide from Anthony Alanga, who's got 2 goals in these last 2 games. But that chance just went wide. Aurier put the cross in the box. It was helped on off the foot of Chris Wood, and it sat up nicely there for Alanga at the far post. Ashley Young wasn't close enough to block it. And Alanga aimed for the far post, and wide it went. If it was on target, he'd have to have beaten Pickford and Tarkowski as the formerly Burnley centre-half had made his way onto the line to try and block the shot if it was needed. It wasn't. And Everton can get it forward, and they pump it forward. The knockdown comes towards Decore. Tried to play it through towards Beto, but it's cleared by Nottingham Forest to halfway, where it's picked up by Mikilenko, but there was a foul on Sangare from Garner as the ball was played forward. Thanks to everyone who is here. If you could like and subscribe, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Commentary coming tomorrow as Manchester City take on Tottenham at 4:30. And then we've got 4 commentaries, I believe, coming next week as well. As Willy Bolly has it here for Nottingham Forest. Everton not pressing. There's a Forest goalkeeper who has it in the 18-yard area, setting up in a 4-4-2 as they press here. Sean Dyche's men. Vlachodimos in his 18-yard area. Has loads of time to think about what pass he wants to make. He was forward to Mangala, out to the right to Bolly. High ball up towards Chris Wood, who chests it down. Tries to play it into the path of Aurier, but the clearance from Mikilenko gives it to Sangare. Chests it down and plays to Aurier. 1-2 with Gibbs White. Can Aurier get there? He's going to let it go out as he claims for the throw-in. And it's not been given. Serge Aurier could have kept that in as well, but he was certain that would have gone their way, that throw-in. As Paul Tierney's making his way to the technical area of Nottingham Forest, and he's going to book the Nottingham Forest assistant. I believe he's yellow carded Alan Tate. Yeah, it is Alan Tate who's been booked. Not sure what he's done wrong, to be honest. Paul Tierney was obviously guided to the technical area by his 4th official, who had reported some misbehaviour of some kind. But we're back underway. Thrown by Everton. Picked up by Aurier in Forest as he lifts it into the 18-yard box. Anyway by Tarkowski, which he has to do twice. And the header the second time goes towards Beto, who's touched towards Decore. He's intercepted by Mangala. And now Murillo out to the Forest right. It's a high ball. It's a header by Mikilenko, then volleyed away by McNeil. Out for a throw-in for the home side, who have got 3 games coming up at home in December after today's game, and they've got to take on Spurs, Bournemouth and Manchester United. So some quite tricky home fixtures coming up for Steve Cooper's men, as they're going to have another throw-in in the final third, as that header by Mikilenko gives Aurier a second chance at a throw-in in quick succession. 11 minutes of the 45 still to play. Nottingham Forest, I've had one shot on goal, and it wasn't on target. Aurier gets the reply from the throw-in, and he'll win another one. McNeil pokes it away from Gibbs-White. Throw-in again for Forest on the far side. Serge Aurier waiting for the movement. Throws it into the 18-yard area, brought down by Wood. Back out to Aurier. Sangare, 1-2 with Aurier, who gets there, byline, cuts it back. Gibbs-White helps on, crossing, and it's cut out by Adrissagate at the near post. Jordan Pickford was there, ready to catch it. But I don't think Adrissagate knew that, and I don't think he heard the shout from him as he came to collect that cross from Gibbs-White. He just got it from under his foot. And it's a corner for Forest. Yeah, Pickford was there, but Adrissagate wasn't to know, so did the safest thing possible, heading behind. It's going to be an in-swinger with the left foot of Harry Toffolo. In it goes towards the near post, headed away by Everton man, but then volleyed back forward by Alanga on the edge, blocked and cleared by Ashley Young, all the way to the halfway line here to Aurel Mangala, who go back once more to Vlachodimos, who clears it forward for Forest into the Everton half. Yates is going to go for it, but can't win it on Tarkowski. Header forced to Decore, controls it with his arm. Free kick on halfway for Forest. Not been the greatest of first halves, if we are going to be completely honest. I think we can all agree, especially if you're watching the game. So just about 5 yards into the Everton half, just inside the centre circle. Nottingham Forest have a free kick. It'll be the left foot of Harry Toffolo. High line, 10 yards in front of the 18-yard box from Everton. It's lifted into the edge of the box. Headed on by Beto, by Everton. Not heading it the correct direction. It's now Murillo in a right wing position here for Forest. Trying to do some tricks and flicks to get away from Tarkowski, but he can't quite do so. As in the left back area, Tarkowski loses out and concedes a throw in next to the corner flag. Well won by Murillo. You can tell he's Brazilian, even though he's a centre half. Tried some drag back, some Cruyff turns to get away from Tarkowski and forced the throw-in for his side. Well won from the 21-year-old centre-half. And it's now Aurier with the throw, the right back. Throws it in towards Wood. Volleyed away by Garner. Still alive here as Beto tries to keep it in play, but he loses out to Sangare, who drives on the inside, shows too much of it of Gardner, who can clear away deep into the Forest half, where Decore will chase it, but Vlachodimos will clear it. And Branthwaite will head it away, or as far as Aurier, who nods it back in, but the flag's gone up there as Branthwaite won the header. Wood was on coming back from an offside position as they try and take the free kick quickly out to Jack Harrison in the right wing position, but the referee wasn't ready for play to continue. So it'll be retaken. A free kick for Everton again, just inside their own half. It's a diagonal ball out to the right again for Harrison on the edge of the box, headed away by Toffolo. But it'll be kept alive here for Everton through Ashley Young. He goes backwards to keep possession and has a 1-2 here with Tarkowski. Back to Young. Early cross into the edge of the 18-yard box, headed away by Murillo. It will be won by the head of Wood out to the right to Aurier, who then tries to replay it into Wood. Short ball. Garner picks it up. McNeil crossing the box. Header won by Murillo. Still in the box with a header by McNeil, who loops it all the way over the bar. Wasn't too far away there from Dwight McNeil. As Murillo stays down here for Nottingham Forest after winning that header. I think it was a diving header and he might have hurt his hip slightly. Poor giveaway though by Aurier to lose it midway inside his own half. It was played out to the left to McNeil, who put the early cross in, which was won by the head of Murillo. And it was still live in the 18-yard box, and then McNeil headed it back forward again. But put too much power on the header, and over the bar it went. Not quite sure what's wrong with Murillo. He says he headed that cross away, but he didn't dive to head the ball away or anything. It was just a standing header. And it looks like he's in a bit of discomfort. Not quite sure what he's done. Maybe turned too quickly with the header. I'm not quite sure what Murillo's done to himself, but he's still on the pitch and he's just moving a little bit gingerly. It'll be a goal kick for the home side. Interestingly enough, in the last game between these two, back in early March of this year, from the 11 that started, only 3 start tonight, and the other 8 aren't in the matchday squad. They either left the club or they're out injured. So a lot of change for Forest, which has been expected the last couple of years with all the signings that they've made this summer and last. Zalanga in the left wing position. Early crossing. It's a low one. It bounces in front of Tarkowski, but he can still clear away with his right boot. Brought down by Decore. Just again, midway side his own half. He's got Ashley Young at right back, and he'll play it to the former Manchester United man, who clears down the line. Cut out by Mangala. Elanga tackled, but the touch drops to Mangala, who gives it away again with a poor touch, but then the ball out to the right by Gay towards Decore. He's misplaced. Throwing on this near side for Forest. Just in front of their home technical area, where Steve Cooper is there, barking instructions. That 1-1 draw at Goodison last season was Forest's first point back in the Premier League away from home. It was Brennan Johnson who gave him the lead in the 81st minute, but a Damari Gray equaliser with 2 minutes to go after a Pickford assist meant they ended all square back in late August. Forest have it now. Aurier in the centre circle. Switching out to the left. It's a high ball. It's a searcher. It'll be brought down by Elanga, but the touch is won back there by Harrison. Down the line to Young. Goes down the line once more into the path of Decore. Great ball. Midway side the Forest half. He's going to go for an early cross. And he can't aim for... Well, he does aim for Beto, but he can't reach him. Cut out by Willy Bolly. And Forest work it out to their right-hand side here to Serge Aurier. Trying to get towards the halfway line. He tries to play a ball down the line. Cut out by McNeil. Throwing for the home side. 5 minutes left of the half. Again, not the greatest half of football, I must admit. Still just the one shot for Forest. 0 on target. 3 shots for Everton. 1 on target. Their main chance came through Beto, who put it over the crossbar about 20 minutes ago. Toffolo left back on halfway for Forest. Ball goes down the line. Kept in by Elanga. Back though to Toffolo. Inside to his right to Sangare. Receives the ball back again. Toffolo. It's back with Sangare, who's been tackled here by Harrison. It's now Garner into the path of McNeil. Again drifting out from that left side across to the right hand side. Plays it forward to Decore. In the box. Plays the ball. Looking for Beto at the far post. Cut out on the penalty spot by Bolly. Drops to Gibbs White. 1-2 with Yates. Gibbs White. Charging down the right hand side. Passes the halfway line. Goes back into his own half to right back Aurier. He didn't have too many options available to him there, Morgan Gibbs White. Mangala, just before the halfway line for Forest. It's with Serge Aurier right back. 30 years of age now, Serge Aurier. Birthday is on Christmas Eve this month. It gives White, chests the ball forward towards Chris Wood, cleared by Tarkowski up towards Decore in the centre circle. Loses out to Ryan Yates, and it's now in the back line with Forest, with Murillo. Goes forward into the midfield here to Mangala, still just inside his own half. Now Sangare in the centre circle, pokes it forward into the Everton half, where Gibbs White keeps the ball moving to Toffolo at left back. Forward to Elanga, back into Toffolo. Across to his left centre half, Murillo. Then back once more to the goalkeeper. Good pressing from Everton. Forcing Forest back into their own 18-yard area. With 3 minutes to go in the half. Remains 0-0 here at the City Ground. Toffolo. Touch forward. Cut out. Ball forward to Decore. Out to the left of McNeil. In the box. Loads of time. Touch. Shot. Oh, blocked off the line. That is heroic from Murillo. Referee checks his watch. It's not gone over the line. That is seriously good defending. Murillo's gone down after clearing the ball. Toffolo gave it away and Young zipped it forward quickly to Decore, who played it into the path of McNeil on the left side of the box. And as he shot it, he got it beyond Vlachodimos. Murillo cleared it off the line, but as he cleared it off the line, he kicked it onto the post, and out it went. Oh, it's a slice of luck about it, but he deserved it for getting back on the line and clearing it. Everton probably think they should be 1-0 up. They probably deserve it off the run of the game in the first half. But that is a brilliant piece of defending by Murillo to get on the line and block the McNeil shot. I just think it was more impressive the fact that he blocked it off the line, off the post. Like a bit of a trick shot there from Murillo with the clearance. As he's getting some treatment here, Murillo. As his left leg is just being moved around here. Not quite sure how he injured his leg through that clearance. It's not like he clattered into the post or anything. Sorry if you can hear any noise in the background. But that should be Everton 1-0 up. But Murillo stopped it superbly. So, throwing for Everton on the far side. In the final third, as we're back underway. Gardner on the left wing position through the legs of Chris Wood. Playing it across the 6-yard box to Tarkowski. Forward from centre half. Works out to the right to Ashley Young. Space for a cross. Puts it in. Header won by Sangare. Falls only as far as Tarkowski on the edge, who volleys it with a slice. And out it runs for a goal kick. Not quite his forte, Tarkowski volleys, or half volleys, on the edge of the box. Does have the 3 goals, though, for Everton since joining last season on a free. This is his 247th appearance under Sean Dyche. And Tarkowski is unbeaten in his 5 games against today's opponents. As Murillo is back on the field after that block off the line. As we've hit the 45th minute here. Can't imagine much added on. Maybe the 1 minute at a push. To be fair, I'd be surprised if there's any minutes added on. There's not been many stoppages. To be fair, there's not much that's happened this 45 minutes. And if it has happened, it's through Everton, not Forest. Goal kicks taken, helped forward by Toffolo. As far as the head of Branthwaite, we've got 5 minutes of added on time. Have I missed something? Chris Wood was down for a little bit. Murillo was down for a moment of time. I think 5 minutes is a little bit excessive. I would have gave maybe 2 at a push. I wouldn't have given 5. Yeah, we had Murillo down just a minute ago. We had Chris Wood down in the 15th minute. Well, I can't think of anyone else who's been down. But 5 minutes has been given anyway. 5 more minutes for Nottingham Forest to try and get their first shot on target of the game. Switched out to the right for Forest from the free kick that they won. Headed out by Mikalenko. Throwing for Forest. Midway side. The Everton half. Waiting for some movement here. Aurier gets some off Wood, but goes down the line instead towards Sangare, who flicks it on for Gibbs White. Back heel into Sangare. It's now Aurier. Back into Sangare. Keeps it away from Decore. It's now out to the left side here to Murillo. Out wide once more. Looking for Toffolo. But it will be picked up here by Elanga. Toffolo down the line. Can't find Yates. Cut out by Gay. Young brought down in right back area. Free kick given. Free kick taken. Out to the right side to Decore. He's going to go for an early ball forward. Looking towards Beto, who will have to chase it down towards the corner flag. And he will not get there ahead of Aurier, who gets the last touch there. Throwing for the away side. Taken quickly by Beto into McNeil. Towards the corner flag. He's got Mangala on his back. Still trying to turn. Can't get the cross though, McNeil. Ball's been taken away from him by Mangala. But the McNeil tackle there. Comes off Mangala last. Still a throw-in for Everton as he's been dispossessed again there. McNeil by Mangala. And Sangare in a right back area can clear, but it's poor. Picked up by Branthwaite. Pass forward to Gay. Out wide left to McNeil, who's again been tackled by that time Sangare. And Forest have possession in their own half. And they've got a free kick now. As Garner takes down Mangala. 2.5 minutes left to play of this first half at the City Ground. Again, Everton have had chances, they've had a couple, and they've just not been able to take them. It's been the story of their season so far, not taking their chances enough. As Bolly has it in right centre half of Forest, on the halfway line. Forward it goes towards Gibbs White, flicks it, looking for Wood. Ball deflects out to Yates. Audacious ball, it's a switch out to the left, looking for Elanga. It'll be cut out by Young, again not very convincing, but it's helped away by Garner. Looking for Decore, who touches it down and then loses out to Murillo. Volleyed away by Toffolo. Elanga will give chase on the edge of the Everton half. He loses out to Tarkowski, who is messing around with it, and he loses it. Elanga, pass intercepted, but drops to Sangare. Out to the right. Gibbs White with the shot. He took it on first time towards the near post, the bottom right corner. Pickford got down low. Didn't need to save it. It went wide of the post in the end. Silly, though, from Tarkowski. Branthwaite intercepting the first pass, but then they worked out to the right to Gibbs-White. Took it on first time as Mykolenko was there to try and close down the shot himself. Took out a camera in the process there, Gibbs-White, and out it went for a goal kick. Another shot for Forest, but another one that wasn't and hasn't been on target. They have had the possession, the home side, but still no shots on target. They have only lost once at home so far this season, Forest, in their first 6 games at home. 2 wins in those 6 against Sheffield United and Villa. Drawing to the likes of Burnley, Brentford and Luton. Volleyed forward by Mangala. Headed away by Mykolenko. Helped forward by Beto. Volleyed by Bolly. Oh, it's poor. It's gone all the way back to Decore. He's running in behind here. Can he work a shot in the box? He pokes out to the left of McNeil, who can't keep it in. Runs out of play. That's got to be a goal kick. And it will be. Very fortunate chance there for Everton. Quite unlucky, really, for Everton. I mean, for Forest. Bolly cleared it forward, and it came straight off the backside of Sangare into the path of Decore, who dribbled into the box and tried to work out to the left to McNeil, but he overhit the pass. And another chance goes for Everton. So it'll be a goal kick for Vlachodimos. We've played the 5 minutes of additional time, so we will wait for the whistle of Paul Tierney. And before the goal kick can be taken, and as the goal kick is taken, the referee blows the whistle at half-time. And at the City Ground, between Nottingham Forest and Everton, it is still 0-0. We've had 50 minutes in that first half, and it hasn't been the greatest 45 minutes I've ever watched of Premier League football. And the first chance came in the 20th minute for Everton. Tarkowski sent a ball into the box. Vlachodimos failed to deal with it, and it fell to Beto. 12 yards out, he tried to open up the body and lift it into the roof of the net with his right boot, but he put too much lift on it, and over the bar it went by a yard or so. And that was Everton's first big chance. It was just a punt into the box, which wasn't dealt with by Forest, and it allowed Beto to have that shot, but he couldn't convert. Everton's new striker. And the other chance that came near the end of the half, it was in the 43rd minute. A ball was found into Decore, who took it on the turn and passed it through into McNeil, who went on one-on-one with Vlachodimos, and he beat the goalkeeper, but he couldn't beat Murillo on the Nottingham Forest goal line, who poked the ball away off the post as he cleared it off the line, and it meant Forest survived, and it remained 0-0. A half chance at the end of the half there for Nottingham Forest as the ball was played to the right side of the box to Gibbs-White, who shot first time towards the near post, but he was just always curling away from the post, and wide it went. And at half-time, after Everton dominating the chances and Forest dominating the possession, it is 0-0 here at the City Ground. Like I say, that is not a first half of football that you are going to remember. Forest have had no big chances. Like I say, 3 shots, 0 on target. They have had 62% of the ball. Everton have had the 2 chances in the game so far, the 2 main chances anyway. The one with Beto, 20 minutes in, over the bar, and then that shot cleared off the line by Murillo or McNeil. So it's definitely Everton who look more likely to score, despite having less of the ball. But overall, the standard of the game has been pretty low, all in all. A lot of, scrappy midfield battles, a lot of just long, hopeful balls. But at half-time, it is 0-0. Everton started this game bottom of the table. I believe they go up to 19th. Yeah, they go up to 19th on goal difference. Sheffield United's goal difference is -28 and Everton's is -6. An extra 2 points for Everton would put them into 18th place above Burnley on goal difference. And if they win, Everton would be 2 points off safety, 2 points behind Luton in 17th. But I said before the game, Everton will definitely 100% stay up. I have full belief the way they play under Sean Dyche. Yes, they have really got to start taking their chances because that will catch them up at some point. But if they start scoring those chances that they're creating, and they're creating a lot of them, they made a load against United as well in their last game at home. I do believe they'll be absolutely fine, but they've just got to be careful. Don't want to get sucked into another relegation battle. And it would be Everton, wouldn't it? The season they get 10 points deducted is the season that they stay up, without being in the relegation battle. Because obviously that's what they have been in the last few seasons. They scraped survival last year, Everton, finishing 17th place on 36 points. They were 2 above Leicester in the end, who were relegated in 18th. Only kept 1 clean sheet as well away last season, Everton, and that was away at Fulham in a 0-0 draw. They've kept 1 clean sheet so far this season away, and that came against West Ham. As all of their away wins this season, Everton have been in London. They beat Crystal Palace, the most recent, then they beat Brentford in the first one, and then they beat Palace, West Ham, and Brentford away from home. But we'll go through as well. We'll have a look. We mentioned it during the first half. But we'll go through the Euros group stages, because obviously we'll be bringing live commentaries from the Euros in the summer on this channel once the club football season ends. So we'll go through the draw now. We did mention who the British teams had. Teams from the UK. So we'll go from Group A to Group F. So we'll go in alphabetical order. As in Group A, Germany will take on Scotland, Hungary and Switzerland. And I've been told, or I've read, that the first game of the tournament will be Germany taking on Scotland. So that's a good moment for Scotland after a fantastic qualifying campaign, qualifying alongside Spain. Group B is Spain, and they will have Croatia, Italy and Albania. That's a tough group. That really is a tough group for Spain, taking on Croatia, who they did beat in the Nations League final in the summer, and then they've got to face Italy as well, who are now back in competition again after missing the World Cup in 2022 and missing out in 2018 as well. But they did win the last Euros. They are the holders, Italy, but they did just about scrape through their qualifying group after that 1-0 win in their last group game against Ukraine, which had a very controversial penalty not given to Ukraine in the last minute on Mikhailo Mudryk. And then Group C is Slovenia, Denmark, Serbia and England. So you could really say that's quite a nice group for England. Denmark can be a challenge on their day. Serbia do have the likes of Mitrovic up front, who can be a danger. And Slovenia will be a game that they'll definitely look to win. England. As Group D, we'll have Netherlands, France and Austria. That's a very difficult group. And then joining Group D will be the playoff winner of playoff A, which is Poland, Wales, Finland and Estonia. But whoever joins that group will not have a very easy one to contend with. And then Group E is Belgium, Slovakia, Romania and the playoff winner for playoff B, which is Israel, Bosnia, Ukraine or Iceland. And then Group F will have Turkey, Portugal, Czech Republic and the other playoff winner, which is either going to be Georgia, Greece, Kazakhstan and Luxembourg. So quite a nice group there for Portugal. I mean, Czech Republic aren't the easiest of teams. Turkey are back on form again, like they were for the previous Euros, where they obviously were labelled the dark horses, but then lost all 3 group games. But they're back in form, but it's definitely a group I believe that Portugal will fancy, in all fairness. But they are the Euros groups that were just draw in the first half of this game. As we did have Premier League games on earlier as well, where Arsenal defeated Wolves at home 2-1. 3 home wins actually. Brentford winning 3-1 against Luton, and then Burnley destroying Sheffield United by 5-0. It's also FA Cup second round football this weekend for some, if the games aren't being postponed and called off, like we did this midday, as Alfreton was set to take on Walsall, but about 5 minutes before kick-off, that's when they decided the pitch was unplayable. Which I don't understand why you wait so long to tell the fans if the game's off, when if the pitch is frozen, it's frozen and it ain't warming up, and you should know that from the early mornings if it's frozen or not, which was a little bit confusing in all honesty. But that one was postponed earlier on today. But the second half will be back underway in a couple of minutes of time, after we did have 5 minutes of added on time at the end of that first half, so we will have to just wait a little bit after 6:30 to get the restart going. But looking at the FA Cup, it is the third round draw tomorrow, early. I think it's 1:15. And that's when the Premier League teams and the Championship teams are involved. So what is there any smaller teams in the draw? Morecambe of League 2 have gone past League 1 Wycombe, so Morecambe will be in the third round. Barnet of the National League drew away at Newport, so they'll be in the hat. Gillingham got beyond League 1 Charlton. Maidstone beat Barrow, so National League Maidstone will be in the draw. Sorry, National League South Maidstone, 6th tier. They were relegated last year from the National League. They will be in the third round. That's a great story. So Maidstone in the third round of the FA Cup. No other upsets. Horsham, who you might remember, were beaten by Barnsley in the replay after drawing 1-1. I think it was, what was it, 2-2? I think it was 2-2. Or was it 3-3? Well, I can't remember. Horsham drew 3-3 with Barnsley and then were beaten in the replay 3-0. Barnsley were then caught out for fielding an illegible player, so that gave Horsham a bye into the second round, where they played bottom of League 2 Sutton, but unfortunately they were beaten 3-0 away from home. But the first goal for Sutton did come in the 64th minute, so they did hold their own for quite a while, Horsham, but then goals in the 64th and the 74th minute from Dion Pereira, and then one in the 89th through Omari Patrick, means that Sutton in League 2 are in to the third round of the FA Cup. So that'll be exciting for the lower league. See what teams they get in the third round of the FA Cup. Always get an upset here and there. It is the magic of the FA Cup, which is always alive every year the tournament comes around. Well, commentary coming here tomorrow. Manchester City taking on injury hit Spurs. And I think injury hit's being a bit nice. They are beyond injury hit. Loads of players out for Tottenham. And then the commentary's coming next week. We've got Premier League in midweek, so we've got loads of commentaries coming up. We are covering Wolves against Burnley on Tuesday in the Premier League. Aston Villa against Manchester City on the Wednesday. Everton Newcastle on the Thursday. And then on the Sunday, it is Tottenham taking on Newcastle. So 4 commentaries coming tomorrow, 3 in a row from Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday. So make sure you subscribe and like so you know when those commentaries are happening on the channel. But the biggest chance of the game for me, even though the Beto chance was big, the McNeil one was bigger. Got it beyond the goalkeeper. He was aiming towards the bottom right corner, but he was cleared off the line by Murillo for Nottingham Forest. But if you are new, liking and subscribing really helps us out. But the second half will be getting underway in just under a minute's time now. Who will be the side to take the win? Again, Forest have not won in their last 9. They've got 1 win in their last 9 games. Everton have got 3 wins in their 6 games away from home in the league so far this season. So both teams need wins. Obviously, we know the situation with Everton with their point deduction. They could really do with lifting 3 points to try and cut that 10-point deduction that they received a few weeks ago. And then obviously with Nottingham Forest, they don't want to go 1 win in 10. That's when the form becomes relegation form. And that's not where Nottingham Forest wants to be under Steve Cooper. As his job apparently, he's under a bit of pressure, apparently. Steve Cooper. He was anyway. But we do know the Nottingham Forest owners do like to keep the faith in Steve Cooper, even when times are tough. As we are going to get a Nottingham Forest half-time change. Murillo was struggling with an injury. So was Willy Bolly. Willy Bolly was struggling a little bit as well. And one of them will be replaced by centre-back Felipe, the Brazilian, 34-year-old now. It's his first appearance of the season for the first team. He'd only been on the bench once previously in the Premier League, and that was in their away win at Chelsea, where he didn't pick up any minutes. So a first appearance of the season for Felipe, and he will replace number 30, Willy Bolly, the Ivorian centre-half. And on comes Felipe for his first game of the season. Played 16 times last season for Forest, 15 starts within those 16. As Murillo again is still moving, not quite as well as he would have wanted to, as it'll be Everton kicking us off, kicking right to left, Forest left to right. Pickford sending it forward up towards Decore, nods it down for Garner, helps it forward towards Harrison, cleared by Toffolo, eventually drops to Garner Gate. Harrison inside to Beto, can't quite find Idrissa Gate, and it drops in the end for Ryan Yates in the Forest half. Pass forward, cut out by Garner, looking for Gibbs White, throw in just inside the Everton half for the home side, on the far side. And it's back with Felipe, getting his first few touches of the ball this season for Nottingham Forest. Alright, right back, up towards halfway to Gibbs White. Pass is really poor, given away too easily. Now McNeil on halfway for Everton on this near side. He's got Mikalenko in support, but he'll go for a high ball instead. Over the top, Beto chases. Murillo gets there first, nods it down to Aurier, who gets it back now to Murillo in the 18-yard area. Back into the 6-yard box now with Lacademos. To his left is Felipe. Out to Toffolo at left back. Clears it down the line. It's a high one beyond the halfway line. Looking for Alanga. Cut out by Ashley Young. Ball drops in the midfield. Poked forward by Garner. Helped on by Gay. Finds Beto, who loses out in the end here. But he plays the advantage of the referee. Ryan Yates brings the way on the left-hand side. Final third's Alanga. He got the ball now. Onto his right foot. Can he get a cross in here? As he's going to go for a shot instead, which is blocked by Young. Loops into the sky. Headed away by McNeil on the Everton left. Reclaimed for Forest by Mangala in the centre circle. And now Murillo drives forward with the ball. Out towards the Forest left. Forward he goes. Misplaced pass looking for Yates. One back by Tarkovsky. Idrissa Gate. Good ball out to the left of McNeil. Touch in front of him's too heavy. Gives the ball away. But it will run through for Idrissa Gate in the Everton midfield. Forward to McNeil. Back to Idrissa Gate. He goes back into the 18-yard box. And it's possession for Sean Dyche's men once again. On the edge of the 18-yard box, number 6, James Tarkovsky. He'll drive forward towards the halfway line here. Ashley Young. Halfway line is Jack Harrison. He's got Garner making a run down the line. Doesn't go to the former Manchester United midfielder. Instead goes on the inside and plays it forward to Decore. Back to Idrissa Gay. Midway inside the opposition half. Plays it forward. Nice ball into Harrison, who can't get away from the tackle of Mangala. And it's now with the number 5 for Forest. Being closed down here by Decore. Goes back to right centre back Felipe. Clears it forward. Picked up by Branthwaite on halfway. And he'll go backwards here to Captain Tarkovsky. Right back Ashley Young, who actually played with Sean Dyche at Watford, 25 games. Ball down the line from Young, cut out, and Forrester back on the ball. With Sangare in the midfield, who's been tackled there by Gay, and then has to tackle the Everton midfielder, and you can see the throw in there, Sangare. Mikalenko takes it and gets the return off McNeil. Now back to McNeil again. Down the line. Looks for Decore. Can't drop to the Malian midfielder. Felipe gets there, but his pass to Sangare. He's been pickpocketed and won by Mikalenko. So Branthwaite. Has it. 10 yards in front of the 18-yard box. Goes for a switch out to the right, Branthwaite. Looking for Jack Harrison, cut out by the head of Toffolo. It'll drop to Yates, who's got Garner tackling him from behind. He brings him down, but he's taking quickly the free kick there by Yates. And now Mangala will drive forward. What a run by Mangala. Will he play it through? He'll go out to the right to Gibbs-White. Edge of the 18-yard box. Aurier on the overlap. Doesn't feed it to the Ivorian. He crosses it himself. Wood at the far post. Misses out on the header. And it'll drop out to Harrison, who will drive away with it on the right-hand side for Everton. Tries to play it forward. Gives it away so easily. Now Alanga, who's going to run back at the Everton defence. Try to take on Young. He's got the pace on Young. Gets the crossing. Cleared on the edge of the 6-yard box by Garner. And a throw in it is for Forest. Thrown into Yates. Pushing the back from behind by Tarkovsky. Free kick for Forest in a great position on the left-hand side. In terms of Premier League quality, this game has been poor. Really poor. So many sloppy, misplaced passes from both sides. It's not been good enough. You know what? I don't usually say this on a live stream, but I've not enjoyed this game at all. It's just been scrappy. It's been rubbish, in all honesty. Hopefully a goal, if one is scored, will kind of bring it more to life and sharpen it up a little bit more. There's this free kick. Gibbs-White over it with his right foot on the Forest left on this far side. Cross goes in. Deep one into the 6-yard box. Header won by an Everton man. It'll drop to the right back area to Jack Harrison, who clears it down the Everton right. Looking forward to Decore. Headed away by Gibbs-White. Straight to the path of McNeil. Feeds it out to the left here to Beto, who will get there for Everton. In a left wing position. They've got players bombing forward here in blue shirts. Beto behind McNeil. Oh my word, this game is so bad. Honestly, the quality of this game is absolutely horrific. It is so poor. There is a reason why these two teams are usually near the bottom of the Premier League table, as Mikalenko battles well at left back to win it off Gibbs-White, and Everton are back in possession. Pickford with a curling ball out to the left, finds McNeil's chest, keeps it away from Aurier. Drives on the inside here, McNeil. He goes back on the edge of this 18-yard box to Tarkovsky to keep possession for his side. Idrissa Gueye. He's got Yates in front of him in a red shirt. Goes backwards though to Branthwaite as he pushed to the ground there. Idrissa Gueye. Advantage was played as Everton still have possession. Mikalenko tries to clear it down the line. Hesitates, comes off Gibbs-White, but the loose ball is won back by Garner. McNeil runs into traffic through Aurier. One back on halfway now with Mangala. Across now to Murillo in the centre circle. 5.5 minutes played of this second half. No big chances as of yet in this second half. That Everton had the main 2 chances in the first. Forest half here with Felipe. Not being pressed here as he goes across to Murillo. Furthest left here is Alanga. Back he goes into Toffolo. Once more into Murillo. Being chased down here by Decore. Goes to his right to Felipe. We've got 2 Brazilian centre-halves on the field now for Forest after the substitute at half-time. Bolly off for Felipe. Sangare in the midfield just about keeps it moving away from Gueye. As he just caught him late there, Idrissa Gueye, but advantage was played by the referee. Alanga, midway side the Everton half. Ball inside. Finds Yates. On once more out to the right-hand side. It's a great ball. Find Gibbs-White in a right wing position. Outside the 18-yard box, goes for the cross, deflects off Mikalenko, cleared by Branthwaite. Into the sky it goes, brought down nicely out to the right by Aurier to Gibbs-White. 1-on-1 with Mikalenko, tries to go on the outside of the Ukrainian, can't work the cross, but he wins the corner. Last touch comes off McNeil. Corner on the near side for Nottingham Forest. Good defending there by Mikalenko, forcing Gibbs-White out wide and not letting him get the cross in. But eventually the ball was just kicked out of play there as McNeil came over to help Mikalenko against Gibbs-White. on this near side. It'll be an in-swinger from Toffolo. It's a deep one. Far post. Headed on by Tarkowski. It drops to an unmarked Alanga. Blocked all the way through, and it's a shot from Felipe, which I think comes off the post and out for a goal kick. It's a good ball in. It was a header won by Tarkowski. And at the far post, coming in, Alanga had a shot blocked. It went right through to the far post towards Felipe, who shot, and it came off the post. Let's have a look here. There's a bit of pushing and shoving, bit of pulling. Yates went down on Decore. As Alanga had the shot towards the far post, blocked off Mikalenko, then fell into the 6-yard box for Felipe, who had a left-footed shot, strike off the post. I don't know if there's enough in it for a penalty there on Ryan Yates, as him and Decore were doing a bit of pushing and shoving. Nothing given after that challenge, as Tarkowski clears it long. It's a high one, nowhere near Beto. Brought down by Murillo, straight into the path of Harrison. Everton have it in the final third, as McNeil takes it on the turn, away from Felipe, pulled down by the Brazilian centre-half, off the bench at half-time. Yellow card for the former Atletico Madrid defender. Brought in January for £2 million. Felipe, now been at the club for 12 months, and he was just turned there, 11 months, sorry. Just turned by McNeil and didn't let him away, because if he let McNeil get away from him, he was bearing down on goal in the edge of the 18-yard box. So it was a right thing to do there, really, from Felipe, because that could have easily ended in a goal. It was a really sharp turn from McNeil. There's a free kick here, 25 yards out. He's dead centre on the pitch. It's not to the right side, it's not to the left side. It is right slap bang in the middle. So it could either be a right footer or a left footer. Ashley Young's over it. McNeil is over it as well. So they've got a right-footed and left-footed option. It is a 5-man wall for Nottingham Forest. It's got the likes of 4-man, actually. Murillo, Yates, Sangare. Felipe's in there as well. Yates not too far away from them, with Toffolo lay down behind the wall. Ashley Young did score here for Aston Villa last season in a 1-1 draw on the 10th of October 2022. And Ashley Young is looking for his 50th Premier League goal in his career. But McNeil is also stood over it, the Everton number 7. It'll be Ashley Young to take it. Hits the wall of Ryan Yates, and it'll go right through for a corner. On the far side, well blocked by the Nottingham Forest captain, 26-year-old midfielder. Going towards the goalkeeper side there, Ashley Young, and it hit the head of Ryan Yates. Good, brave defending. But there is more to do. With a Dwight McNeil corner about to be swung in with an in-swinger, with his left boot that we know can deliver some world-class crosses. McNeil puts it in there, 6-yard box, all the way to the far post, volleyed away by Sangare. It'll drop midway inside the Forest half to Young. Back out to the right to Adrissagay. Loads of time to take the touch, float the ball back in, but it's headed away by Aurier. Towards Ashley Young on halfway, who nods it back out to the right to Adrissagay. Forward down the right channel to McNeil. Drives inside, puts an early cross in towards Branthwaite, headed away again, but picked up by Garner in the midfield. Works away from the first challenge of Gibbs-White. Now goes backwards into the centre circle here to Ashley Young. High ball to the far post towards Tarkowski, who gets there ahead of Aurier. Towards the byline here, back to goal. Plays a ball inside, it's a great ball. Mikalenko goes across. Cross is cleared by Murillo, and eventually drops to Wood, who works out to the left to Alanga, midway inside his own half. He's got Garner coming over towards him. Can he take on Garner? No, he can't. Alanga runs out of pitch on the far side. Throwing just inside the opposition half for Everton. As the 2 games last season between these two teams were draws, but they were 1-1 and 2-2. Last time we've had a 0-0 in this fixture was back in March 1991 at Goodison Park. We have had no 0-0s in the last 14 meetings between these two, from 1991 to 2023. Mikalenko on the Everton left, battling with Gibbs-White, and keeps it. He goes back to his own half here now with Jordan Pickford on the edge of the 18-yard box. He's only got the 1 win in his career against Forest, and that was for Preston back in November 2015 in the Championship. McNeil, ball over the top, edge of the 18-yard box. Beto tries to bring it down, but it comes to Felipe, who volleys it away with the left foot. It'll be something for Chris Wood to chase, but it'll be Tarkowski to nod it down to his centre-back partner. And Everton are back in possession, just inside their own half here with Garner. Across 10 yards to the right to Garner Gate. Tarkowski, ball forward, in between the lines again. McNeil taking it on the turn nicely and feeding it out to the left to Mikalenko. In the final third, 1-on-1 with Aurier. Goes for an early cross towards Decore. Headed away by Toffolo. Kept alive here for Everton through Garner, who's been brought down from behind there by Chris Wood. Free kick for the away side. McNeil's finding himself more centrally on the pitch instead of out wide left. And that's where the ball eventually went as he played it out to Mikalenko. The cross wasn't great from the Ukrainian, but the free kick's been won midway inside the Forest half by Garner, getting his body in front of Chris Wood. And the man who won the free kick will be taking it about 35-40 yards out, so too far away for his shot, but he'll play it out wide right instead to McNeil, who will then put the ball in on the better angle towards Tarkowski at the far post, and it won by Felipe. Drops to the edge of the box here to McNeil, who will shoot, and it will be blocked by Mangala. It'll loop in the air, headed won by Tarkowski as he goes straight into his own man, and eventually it's cleared by Forest, only as far as Ashley Young on halfway. Nice touch out to the left of Mikalenko, who will put it out to the far post, looking for Decore. Header away on the edge of the box though by Toffolo, dropped to Sangare. It's now with Yates, who was caught late as he released it there on Beto, and that will be a free kick for Forest, and the pressure is eased off the home side after a little bit of defending there. Yeah, just looking at that penalty incident from the corner about 5 minutes ago. Yates being pulled down by Decore. Decore's not even looking at the ball, and he has got a big chunk of his shirt there. Another day, VAR probably tells the referee to go and have a look at that, and the ref might give it. But the referee wasn't told to have a look. I don't know if I'm presuming VAR checked it, but they didn't let the referee go and have a look. They thought it was an okay tackle from Decore, even though he wasn't looking at the ball and was pulling the shirt of Yates, but nothing was given. Ball out to the right here. Jack Harrison in the final third. 1-on-1 with Toffolo. He's got the run forward of Gay. He'll find it. He'll try and get a pull back. But it's blocked by Murillo. Still in the... Well, was on the pitch for the moment there, but eventually bounced out for a corner for Everton. On the far side. Good ball that from Jack Harrison to find the run of Idrissa from midfield. Will it be an in-swinger from McNeil? It'll more than likely be. McNeil, in-swinger. Into the 6-yard box again towards Decore. Not cleared very well for Forest. In the box still. Agay shoots it, and it's blocked in the end by Toffolo, and it will deflect out for a throw-in for Everton. Sean Dyche's men has definitely been the better team so far tonight. They've had 2 chances in the first half. One missed by Beto and cleared off the line by Murillo on McNeil. They're not really created a big chance in the second half, but they've been the team more in the opposite half than the other has. Tarkowski, touchdown to Garner, midway inside the Forest half, goes back to the halfway line here to Branthwaite, who's now an England under-21 international. Branthwaite, after making his debut back in June of this year, switch out to the right looking for Harrison, cut out by the head of Toffolo, brought down by Alanga, hooked away to the halfway line looking for Chris Wood, cut out by Garner, who completes a 1-2 with Tarkowski. It's back in Everton possession again. Only the 8 draws for Everton under Sean Dyche in his 34 games that he's managed. Take away this one. Beto, edge of the box, wanting to shoot, does shoot, and it is high, wide, and absolutely shocking. And a goal kick for Nottingham Forest shows that Beto isn't quite scoring the goals for Everton. He's got the one for them since joining, and that came in the League Cup second round away to Doncaster. But in his 8 appearances in the Premier League previously, he's yet to score. Started 4 of the last 7 though, as Dominic Calvert-Lewin is out of the matchday squad for today's game. Forest clear it down the left channel, helped on by Wood, but will go right through to Branthwaite on halfway for Everton. As the away side are definitely the better side so far this second half, look a lot more settled. Gay clears it forward, headed away by Mangala, battled with Elanga there, Harrison, and he came out on top, but then loses it to Sangare. Elanga, beyond one tackle of Garner, but can't get away from Tarkovsky. Young down the line here to Decore. Forward to Harrison. Keeps it away from Mangala and Toffolo for the minute, but then met by the tackle of Yates as it goes for an Everton throw-in. Midway side, the Forest half here. Everton still push forward, try to create that big chance to bring the goal. Ashley Young throws it to the corner of the 18-yard box. Beto overruns it. Big challenge. It's a fair one, but it drops to Chris Wood. It goes back to Sangare, who can't feed it back to the New Zealand international. Garner out to the right to Harrison in the final third. Onto his left foot. Fakes one cross. Runs at Toffolo. Goes on the outside and puts the right-footed cross in, which is headed away in the 6-yard box by Aurier. Falls to Decore, who loses out to Wood. Whose ball out to the left will give something for Elanga to chase, who will get there ahead of Young. Counter-attack on for Forest. Elanga, midway inside the Everton half, plays across to Gibbs-White, edge of the 18-yard box, crosses all the way through, and it goes beyond Chris Wood, and it will trickle out in the end for an Everton goal kick. If they're going to score Nottingham Forest, it's more than likely going to be for a counter-attack. And Elanga was well found there on the left-hand side, and he's had the beating of Ashley Young all day pretty much. As he works out to the right, the Forest players probably saw their eyes start to open more, as they probably believed they could have scored that. But the cross was poor in the 18-yard box by Gibbs-White, as we're going to get the first change of the game. I think we're going to get a shift in shape here, as Callum Hudson-Odoi comes on off the bench, and he replaces Sangare, who was out for the game against Brighton, but he's returned to play 65 minutes this afternoon. And Callum Hudson-Odoi comes on, who had missed the last 4 games for Brighton. The last 4 games for Forest, before returning against Brighton, where he came off the bench to assist one of the 2 goals they scored. I think he won the penalty for Gibbs-White last week. And it looks like it will be Gibbs-White in a more central area. And obviously Hudson-Odoi playing in a more natural wing position. Still 0-0, 25 minutes to play. Everton free kick on halfway. If you are still here listening, I really do appreciate it, because this game is being absolute garbage, really. The quality hasn't been good enough at all. It's been so scrappy. And no one's really got a foothold of the game. Everton, possibly, you could say so, that they have in the last 10 minutes or so. But they still haven't been playing the most amazing football in the world. It's Pickford for the free kick, sends it into the 18-yard box, headed on by Branthwaite, headed away by Mangala. Always finds Harrison in the right wing position, who brings it down nicely, finds Idrissa Gueye, 1-2, Harrison, first time cross, goes towards Beto, over his head, McNeil at the far post, launches it into the top right corner, and Everton take a deserved lead. They have been the team on top for the majority of this game at the City ground, and eventually they get their goal through Dwight McNeil. A left-footed shot straight into the top right corner, beyond Vlachodimos in the Forest goal. And Everton are continuing their fantastic away form so far this season. They've won 3 from 6 before today. They could make it 4 wins from 7 away games if they see this result through. Pickford launched it into the 18-yard box from the halfway line from the free kick, helped on by Branthwaite. It was headed away by Mangala out to the Everton right, where Harrison completed a beautiful 1-2 with Idrissa Gueye. Put it in there first time, it went over the head of Beto. It dropped right through to McNeil at the far post, who for some reason was completely unmarked. Allowed him to take the touch and shoot. It was a bullet into the top right corner beyond the Forest goalkeeper, who had absolutely no chance. Huge question marks about the defending from Forest to allow McNeil to be alone at the far post, to take the touch, to take the shot, and put Everton ahead. It's quite criminal defending, in all honesty. Everton won't be complaining. They lead at the City ground. It's Forest 0, Everton 1. 67 minutes in. Everton take a lead. And they have been the better team. And if anyone deserves a lead, it is certainly Everton and Sean Dyche. as Forest try and hit back straight away. Hudson-Odoi in behind on the right side. Pass cut out by Mykolenko. It's now with McNeil, the goal scorer. Decore inside. Looking for Beto, who battles with Mangala, but it's Forest to have the ball. Back with their goalkeeper. That is McNeil's first goal of the season in all competitions. And he'll be very happy that he's got that goal. So McNeil with a great time to get his first goal of the season. It's Nottingham Forest. This is his 170th game, McNeil, under Sean Dyche. And it's his 13th goal for the Everton manager. Forest on halfway. Paul pass back by Yates, and it's Aurier to have to go back and chase it down. And he keeps possession moving back to the goalkeeper, Vlachodimos. He's only kept the one clean sheet for Nottingham Forest since coming into the team, the Greek international. And that was in their last win in the Premier League against Aston Villa at home. Hudson-Odoi halfway on the right-hand side. Try to drive forward, but met by too many blue shirts in his way. And it's now with left centre-half Murillo. So with 20 minutes to go of the 90. Out to the left it goes. Great ball. Here's Gibbs-White. He's got Elanga forward, and he plays it towards the Swedish international, who doesn't keep it in. Throwing for Everton in the right-back area. He's quick, Elanga, but not that quick to keep the ball in. What a time for Dwight McNeil to get his first goal of the season. He got 7 last season in the Premier League and finished as Everton's top goal scorer, scoring 4 of them away, scoring 4 of them at home and 3 of them away. Well, finally, he's on the score sheet in the Premier League this season. Felipe heads away for Forest, drops to the feet of Mangala, who I think has been probably Forest's best player today, the Belgian, in that midfield, to try to make things work, try to link the play from midfield, from defence to attack. Here he is on halfway, being closed down slowly by Beto. It goes back to Murillo. Across to right centre-back Felipe. Ball forward, misplaced, look for Yates, it's a shocking pass. Branthwaite forward to Idrissa Gueye in the centre circle. He's been fouled by Yates. Free kick for the away side. It's such poor passing play there from Felipe. Just not good enough at all. As it looks like Forest will be picking up their second loss at home of the season. They'll be back-to-back home losses after losing last week 3-2 against Brighton. Took the lead early on as well, 3 minutes in, through Anthony Elanga. But then a João Pedro double and an Evan Ferguson goal put Brighton 3-1 up. And Morgan gives White penalty with 15 minutes to go. Got them back in the game, but they couldn't quite snatch an equaliser, unfortunately. And Everton have got 2 losses in their last 6 games in the Premier League. Away at Liverpool and obviously at home in their last one against Manchester United. This will put them on 7 points. They'll be 2 points off safety with this win tonight if they can see it out. Vlachodimos for Forest in the 18-yard box. Clears it long, first time, halfway. Looking for Hudson-Odoi. Header won by Mykolenko. Helped on by McNeil. Chested down by Aurier. Cleared forward into the Everton half. Chris Wood can't help it on. It'll drop towards McNeil, who just catches Yates late. And that'll be a free kick for the home side. On the right-hand side, just inside the Everton half. So definitely an opportunity to launch this in towards the 18-yard area. Ask some questions of this Everton defence, which they've not done enough at all for the whole duration of the game so far, never mind just the second half. Toffolo has come over to the Forest right-hand side to take this with his left foot. Very high line for Everton, taken quickly and through and behind, looking for Elanga, who gets there around the goalkeeper. It's a tight angle, it hits the side netting. I think the flag's gone up for offside, but it was a very clever free kick there. Toffolo playing it down the right channel. The big gap in the Everton defence. Looking for Elanga. And Mykolenko got a touch on the ball, which played it through beyond the goalkeeper. Nearly caused an assist there, Mykolenko, in the wrong goal. Elanga chased it down. And it was the tightest of angles, and he just tried to get it near the goal. But he hit the side netting, unfortunately. Oh, it'll be retaken, sorry. There was no offside, it'll be retaken again. I don't think the referee was ready for that to be taken. So they get a second bite at the cherry here, Nottingham Forest. No, it's a corner. Are you joking? In it goes, flapped away by Pickford. Drops to the far post. Gibbs White shoots. Does it come off the hand of Decore? That's what they're asking for. It's a corner again on the far side. We'll get a VAR check. I can't believe that's given us a corner. I'm sure Anthony Elanga kept that ball in from the quick free kick. According to the linesman, he didn't keep it in. And obviously the last touch came off Mekalenko. No handball there on Decore. His arm is right in between, right up to his body. Not in an unnatural position. So it'll be a Gibbs White in swinger on the far side, right in front of the travelling away supporters. In it goes, near post, helped on there at the near post by Serge Aurier. And straight over the bar for a goal kick for Everton. Well defended from the away side. Just averaging over 1 point a game, Everton, before their point deduction. And Nottingham Forest are currently averaging just under a point a game if this result stays the same. Paul Tierney is just going to have a word here with Jordan Pickford about time wasting. To try to keep the game at a decent rate. Paul Tierney, tonight's referee, was the referee for the FA Cup final at the end of last season. To Manchester City and Manchester United, which ended 2-1. Sarkovsky clears it long from the goal kick. Headed on by Beto. Back out to Beto by Decore. Cut out though by Murillo. Dropped ball. Ends up to the feet of Harrison, who has the run of Young, but uses Idrissa Gueye instead. Inside to McNeil in the 18-yard box. Tries to turn and shoot. Comes off Felipe and cleared in the end by Mangala. And he's brought down by Chris Wood, who needs to hold it up on halfway. And he does do so. Gibbs White, he's got the run of Elanga in behind. Thinks out to the left. Forces him out wide. But he does keep it in. Elanga one-on-one with Young in the final third. Enters the 18-yard box. Crosses! Header won by Branthwaite. Brought down by Harrison in the 18-yard box and cleared forward up towards Beto. It's a short pass. Won by Murillo. Drives forward in the left wing position now, the centre-half. He's going to be forced backwards here after being closed down by Jack Harrison, but it's still in possession of Forest, who are looking to try and get a point from this game at least. Hudson-Odoi, final third, on this near side. Not being closed down here. He's going to allow it to cross the ball. In it goes, but it's a heavy one. And it goes straight through to the opposite side, where it's kept away by from Elanga by Young, but the clearance drops on as far as Toffolo. To his right to Gibbs White. Back out to the right-hand side, where no one's making a run forward for Nottingham Forest, and it goes straight through for a goal kick for Everton. It's just not quite clicking together tonight for the home side, unfortunately. As the head-to-head record is just in favour of Everton if we go all the way back to their first game, where they played each other in 1892 for the first time, early September. It was a 2-2 draw at home to Everton. And previously they've played each other 130 times, 47 Forest wins, 55 Everton wins. As Mangala just about keeps it away from Decore, and then brought down from behind by McNeil, midway inside his own half. And he had to win the free kick there, because if McNeil had won that fairly, Everton are in behind, and they are outnumbering Forest at the back there. Mangala has it again in midfield, in the centre circle, pokes it forward to Chris Wood. Play continues, even though Mangala was brought down there. It's now Elanga on the left, in the final third. Again, one-on-one with Young. Goes on the inside to Gibbs White. It goes across nicely to the opposite side to Serge Aurier. Loads of time for him to work it to the right to Hudson-Odoi. Overlapping here, Aurier. Feeds it in behind for him, but the pass is shocking. Nowhere near the former Spurs fullback. And it'll be Pickford to collect on the byline. The idea was there, but Hudson-Odoi played it on the inside when Aurier's run was more on the outside. As Aurier does cut it out of a header, the Pickford clearance. It's now back with Forest on halfway, with Toffolo the left back. Goes down the left channel for Gibbs White. Great ball, all alone. Byline in the 18-yard box, pulls it back. Yates with the shot, good block from Garner. Volley out to the right by Beto, drops in the end to Young. Gets beyond the challenge of Elanga, but overruns it and tackled by Toffolo. But the referee is given a free kick. Very lucky man there, Ashley Young, because he was out of position. But Forest with a huge chance there. Great ball from Toffolo to find Gibbs White, who took up a left wing position there. And the cut back to Yates was decent. The shot was allowed to be taken. but it was well blocked there by James Garner, who is formerly of Forest, you may remember, won promotion with them through the playoffs in the 2021-2022 season. So he is well known around these parts, James Garner. "12 minutes to go in the 90. Still 1-0 to Everton. High ball forward from Pickford to the edge of the 18-yard box. Header won by Felipe. Helped out to the Forest right by Gibbs-White. 1-2 can't be completed through Wood and Hudson-Odoi. Centre circles Garner. Back he goes here to Pickford. Edge of the 18-yard box. He's got Branthwaite to his left. He'll instead clear it long to his right. And it'll be Decore all alone to bring it down. And play it forward down the right side to Harrison. Inside he goes to Gay. Back out to the right looking for Decore. Comes off the head of Mangala. Cleared away by Langer, not convincing. Straight to the feet of Harrison. Beto out to the right here to Decore. Back in the box. Blocked though by Murillo. Important blocks. If that had gone through to Beto, he's in one-on-one in the 18-yard area. But Forest eventually clears. Kept in by the head of Tarkowski. It's now back with Pickford as Everton keep possession again. High ball down the left channel for Everton by Pickford. Headed away by Aurier. It'll be Hudson-Odoi to get there first. Back heel into Yates. Back into Hudson-Odoi. Down the line. Passing set to by Mikalenko. McNeil inside on Beto, who spins there on Felipe. And he needs to be careful, the Brazilian, because he's already on a booking. Tarkowski can't believe that he's not been booked for a second time. I think the argument from Tarkowski is that that's pretty much the same tackle that got him a yellow early on in the second half, where McNeil turned Felipe and he was dragged down in a similar fashion. And Sean Dyche and Tarkowski thinks that's the exact same foul, and they find it hard to believe that he's not been booked for a second time. But Felipe survives, he stays on the field. The Nottingham Forest number 18. But again, a free kick for Everton on the left-hand side. It'll be a right footer of Garner to put it in the 18-yard box. Another chance here for Everton to double their lead. Curled into the 18-yard area. Headed out of it by Forest. Met by the shot from Idrissa Gueye. Blocked by Murillo. Towards Alanga, who can't quite keep it away from Idrissa Gueye. Nice back heel into Decore on the edge of the 18-yard box. Across to Harrison, who's been tackled by Yates. And it'll be played out backwards to Vlachodimos by Toffolo. And the Greek goalkeeper will clear it long up towards Chris Wood in the Everton half. Headed away by Tarkowski. Tried to be helped on by Garner. Headed forward by Gibbs-White. But as he won the header there, he just caught the back of the head of Garner. And it will be a free kick in the centre circle for Everton. And it's a difficult place to come here. Nottingham Forest. Like I say, last season they got 30 points from a possible 57 Nottingham Forest. And before today, they'd only lost one home game so far this season, and that was the last one against Brighton. So they are doing a really professional job here, Everton, as they're going to make a change here. It's going to be number 14, Beto, who's just not quite had the rub of the green up front. He had a chance 20 minutes in, which he put over the bar from about 12 yards out. Side-footed finish, but he's been okay up front, holding it up. They probably want some more goals from him, though, as he's only got one so far this season in the League Cup, and he'll be replaced by Youssef Shemiti. He was signed this summer from Sporting Lisbon in a £15 million deal. He's now come off the bench in 2 of the last 4 games for Everton, including today. And we will get a positive change here for Nottingham Forest. Another change of formation, I believe, as Harry Toffolo, the left-back, will be replaced by striker Divock Origi, who's got 6 goals in his 9 Premier League games against today's opposition. Obviously, they were all in Merseyside derbies during his time at Liverpool. So back underway. Tarkowski in the edge of the 18-yard box, attacking for Everton. He loses out, and the ball eventually drops into Gibbs-White. Counter-attack on. Divock Origi charging forward. He's got Hudson-Odoi to his right. He's got Alanga out to his left. He'll feed it to Alanga. He gets it. He tries to get it across goal, but it's a big tackle from Pickford, who celebrates that tackle like a goal. And Harrison can clear it down the line for Everton towards Shemiti, who loses out on halfway to Murillo. Good defending that in the end for Everton. Gibbs-White, 30 yards from goal. Tackle by Decore. Ball drops here to the former Watford man, who tries to get it forward, but it deflects off Wood. Gibbs-White now to Origi. Fresh off the bench. Goes backwards and out to the right to Aurier. That's now Hudson-Odoi. He's got everything to his left here, the former Chelsea winger. Works it back out to the right to Aurier, who floats across in towards Origi. Loses out on the header to Tarkowski. And Mikalenko will eventually clear in the left-back area. Up towards halfway where Schmidt can't make it stick. Won back by Felipe. To the right to Aurier. It's now Vlachodimos forward to Mangala. And it'll be Forest now, I think, who are going to be the team in possession. And hopefully they'll be team making the chances because they've barely created anything in the opening 83 minutes of this game. As they have only won one of their last 9, Forest. It's not good enough. It's not survival form. As they have it on halfway here. With Felipe losing out to Harrison. But the Harrison touch was too heavy. Won back in the midfield by Aurel Mangala. Just over 6 minutes to play of the 90. Still 1-0 to Everton. A Dwight McNeil goal in the 67th minute. Top right corner. It was a superb finish from the former Manchester United academy man. Alanga gets beyond Ashley Young, but the touch is away from him. And it's picked up by Harrison. But then they lose out as he can't play it to Young in time. Won back by Gibbs-White, who goes for a switch towards the right-hand side. Cut out by Mikalenko, the left-back. Forward to McNeil. Forward to Decore once more. Then on once more towards Schmidt. Cut out by Murillo. Brought down by Mangala. Gets away from Decore, but runs into traffic of Idrissa. It's now Garner in the centre circle. Out to the right to Harrison. Will they go for a second here? Harrison forward to Schmidt. Touch out of his feet. Can't quite get away from Murillo. Strong there, the Brazilian centre-half. And he feeds out to the right here to Wood on halfway. They need to shift it quickly. Curls it out to the right to Hudson-Odoi. A little bit isolated here, Hudson-Odoi, with Mikalenko. But he drives on the inside and plays it to Gibbs-White. Back out wide looking for Yates, but it's cut out by Branthwaite. Poor pass that in the end by Gibbs-White. And McNeil will charge down the Everton left. Again, not much support for him either. And the ball inside looking for the forward man of Schmidt. Is nowhere near the number 28. And it's cut out by Felipe. And with 5 minutes to go, Forest need to create something quick. Yates, 10 yards inside the Everton half. Goes forward to Hudson-Odoi. Gets the return. Aurier. Inside to Hudson-Odoi. Back out to Aurier again. It's now with Felipe. Out to the left to Murillo on a halfway. Goes down by Decore. Gets away from Decore with a good burst of speed forward. Murillo still charges. Shoots on the edge of the box. Shot and spilled by Pickford. Picked up by Yates. Back out of the box to Hudson-Odoi, who will swing across in towards Chris Wood. Header away by Everton. Always finds Mangala. Midway side. The Everton half. Gibbs-White. Touches poor. Strong tackle. It's a fair one though. And that's not a fair one from Everton. And I think it'll be a free kick on the right-hand side for Nottingham Forest. Murillo with a great burst of speed to just drive at the 18-yard box. They were all backing off him, and he shot towards the bottom right corner. It had to be palmed away by Pickford. Good goalkeeping because he palmed it away from the danger, not straight into the onrushing Nottingham Forest attackers. Just under 4 minutes left to play, plus additional time. Could be a third clean sheet of the season for Everton. They're second away from home after their 1-0 win away at West Ham. From this free kick, Gibbs-White puts it in, headed away by Garner, back towards Gibbs-White, but helped away from him by McNeil. Drops to Idrissa, who took too much time on the ball, but he was caught from behind. Felipe again with that foul. Don't think that one's enough to warrant a second yellow, unlike the challenge just before that he put on Gibbs-White, actually. I think that might be where the free kick should have been given, because Gibbs-White's caught McNeil, and then Felipe took out Gay from behind. Yeah, just didn't get any of the ball there, Felipe. But before that, McNeil was just caught in the face there by Gibbs-White. How intentional it was, I don't know. The VAR have seen it and cleared it, and it won't be a red card for Morgan Gibbs-White. So free kick for Everton. Midway inside their own half. It'll be taken by Pickford, and he'll launch this as far forward as he possibly can. It's a high one. Down the Everton left towards Schmidt. Can't win the header. Headed away by Aurier. Back towards him by Mikalenko, but met again by the head of Aurier. Inside by Wood. Gibbs-White. Yates back into his 18-yard box to keep possession with his goalkeeper Vlachodimos. Into the 18-yard box it still is with Murillo. Ball out to the left. It'll be kept in by Gibbs-White on halfway. Does he run out of pitch there? No. Last touch comes off Ashley Young. And the throwing goes back into their own half here. To Murillo. Across to Felipe. They're running out of time here, Forest, and they've already created very little in this game. So nothing really shows that they'll make that big chance for the equaliser, but with the added pressure of running out of time, they could create something out of nothing. Switch from the left to the right towards Hudson-Odoi. He'll drop to him off the head of Mykolenko. Hudson-Odoi. Across it goes. Chris Wood on the edge. Can't work a shot. He works it to Elanga instead. And the curled shot towards the bottom right corner just goes wide. Just didn't curl in enough for Elanga to ripple the back of the net. It was a good ball from Hudson-Odoi to find Chris Wood on the edge of the box, who helped it on once more out to the left to Elanga in the box, who curled it around Jack Harrison, who was back on defensive duties, went over the head of Ashley Young as well. He had Pickford diving, but wide it went in the end. And it remains 1-0 to Everton with a minute of the 90 to play. This will be a fantastic result for Everton. Their first points gained back after the 10 deducted a couple of weeks ago. It would lift them to 18th after starting this game in 20th place after a 5-0 win from Burnley earlier on today. It's Everton with a throw-in in the final third here on the near side with Mykolenko. Throws it down the line towards Schmitti. Loses it after being bundled off the ball by Aurier. Has it in a right-back position. It's now Ryan Yates. Needs to get it forward. He lifts it forward up towards halfway. Can't be won by Origi. Headed away by Branthwaite. Kept in by McNeil. Heavy touch falls to Yates. Lifted forward again towards Wood, whose misplaced header is picked up by Garner. 4 minutes of added on time for Everton to hold on. Garner, ball through towards Schmitti. Tackle from behind by Aurier fairly. Just got a poke of the ball. And cleared by Forest. Up to Hudson-Odoi on the right, who gets away from Mykolenko. But forced back after being closed down by Garner. But Forest still have possession. Switch out to the left by Gibbs-White to Murillo. Got Elanga in support, and he'll back heel it to him on halfway. It's now with Mangala. Out to the right now to Yates. Past halfway. Driving forward. He's got Garner closest to him. Goes furthest right here, and that is Hudson-Odoi. Back inside with the pass to Mangala. In the centre circle in the Everton half. It's now back on halfway with Felipe. 3 minutes to play. Aurier looks for a diagonal switch into the box for Chris Wood. Header won by Tarkowski. It'll be brought down here by Decore, who's completely away from shirts in red. And feeds it out to the right to Harrison. Beyond halfway. Playing it down the right channel, where Schmitti will chase it down. But I think it'll run out of pitch there. No, it'll be kept in right on the corner flag for Forest. In a left-back position. Down the line to Murillo. Oh, skills out Harrison. Beautiful bit of skill. Wood into Gibbs. Why does Wood go backwards? He's got to turn forward. He plays it back and slows down the attack. It's still with Gibbs-White in the centre circle. 2.5 minutes to play. Mangala. It's with Elanga. Back to Mangala. All Everton players currently out behind the ball until now, where it's played forward to Gibbs-White. Back out to the right to Aurier. Still just in front of the halfway line. They've got to get it forward here, Forest. Midway side the Everton half. It's Hudson-Odoi. Try to take on McNeil here. He gets beyond McNeil. Can he get across before it goes out of play? It's a low one and it's blocked by Mykolenko. But one back by Hudson-Odoi. He plays it across to the edge of the box to Gibbs-White. 1-on-1 with Idrissa Gueye. Tries to shoot. It's blocked and hooked away by Decore. Towards Schmitti, who loses it in the end for Everton. Mangala, 25 yards from goal. Out to the left to Elanga. 1-on-1 with Harrison. Gets onto his right foot. Works across, which is headed away by Tarkowski. Back towards Elanga, who brings it down nicely. And goes backwards to Murillo to keep possession for Nottingham Forest. And switches out to the right. 90 seconds to play. Can we get a late equaliser at the City ground? It wouldn't be deserved in all honesty. But Steve Cooper will definitely take the point. Gibbs-White. Forward into the path of Hudson-Odoi. Great pass. Cross goes in. Headed away again by Tarkowski. How many times have we said that today? It'll run straight through for a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. But Tarkowski's met every cross so far today, it seems like anyway. Mangala receives it from the throw. Out to the left it goes here to Murillo. A minute on the clock. Murillo, the centre-half, driving forward, playing it out to the right side to Hudson-Odoi. He's just behind him, but he goes to collect the ball and crosses it in. Volleyed away by Branthwaite. Edge of the box is Idrissa Gueye. Can't keep the ball moving, can't clear. Won back by Murillo. Back heels it forward, cut out by Everton, but then he cuts it out himself. But the cut out only drops as far as Idrissa Gueye, who eventually clears it forward, looking for Shamiti, who again loses out up front for Everton. Felipe got there in front of him, and again, it will be Nottingham Forest to try and come forward. 30 seconds to play. They go backwards to the goalkeeper Vlachodimos with the press of Decore. Get the ball forward. Felipe, midway side his own half. What is going on? Get the ball forward. Across to Murillo, who then launches it down the Forest left, where it's headed away by Ashley Young, straight into the path of Jack Harrison. Forward and halfway to Decore. We've nearly played the 4 minutes of added on time. We have played the 4 minutes of added on time, and that is 3 points for Everton, and it is so deserved for Sean Dyche. They move on to 7 points now. They are 2 off safety. As Luton currently sitting 17th on 9 points. And even with 10 points deducted, it looks like Everton, with the quality in the team that they've got, it looks like they'll be sure that they'll be the ones who can survive this season. The quality of football on show was nothing short of shocking at times, but Everton were the only team out of the two to be able to work chances, work shots on goal, and actually worry the opposition defence, something that Forest failed to do. It seemed like at no point in the game was Jordan Pickford at all worried at any point. Forest did have 13 shots at goal, but 2 of them on target. In fairness, Everton weren't too much better. 12 shots, 3 on target, but the difference maker tonight was Dwight McNeil in the 67th minute. A ball into the box, went right through to the back post where McNeil, unmarked, was allowed to take the touch and strike into the top right corner. It whizzed past Vlachodimos in the Forest goal as it was hit with so much pace and venom. And in a game which lacked quality, Everton with the team probably just edged it, and they walk away with a deserved 3 points, and they can start to make up that 10 points that they've lost through the deduction a couple of weeks ago. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you're back tomorrow, 4:30 kickoff for Manchester City against Spurs. And then we've got 4 commentaries coming up next week. So make sure you subscribe and check the channel for what commentaries they are and when they're happening, because they'll be scheduled at the start of next week. But if you did enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. As on this 5:30 kickoff in the Premier League, Everton travel to Forest, who are usually so strong at home. They have been the better team. They take away a deserved 3 points. Sean Dyche will be the happy man as he gets his first win against Nottingham Forest as a manager, as his last came in February of 2016. We haven't had a 0-0 draw since March 1991 in this fixture, and Dwight McNeil with the 67th minute winner made sure we didn't get a first 0-0 in over 30 years. But at the City ground, Everton pick up a 1-0 win. It's their first win away at the City ground since September 1998. And after a game which lacked quality, Dwight McNeil's thunderbolt with his left foot in the 18-yard box is the winner. And here at the City ground, in a very cold December evening, it ends Nottingham Forest 0, Everton 1.